Yo, 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 what up, what up? Welcome to episode number 2. We Working the Podcast. Got a special guest today, Mike. I'm a boss, motherfucking Gibbs.
Yeah.
What's good? What's good?
With my dog, Red Zone. So let's get it, baby. What's up, fellas, man? How y'all doing?
Pretty good, man.
Hey man, let's start the show off by sending our condolences, man, out there to Cumberland County. Lost a good young man yesterday, man. Just want to send our condolences out from the podcast. I know Mike, I know you know them, I know you the family personally, man. So we just want to send our condolences out there.
Most definitely.
And let's wrap our arms around those that's hurting right now.
Yeah, man. Young kid, man, named Momar. My man Shelly Townsend, man. Shout out to them, man. We definitely praying for y'all, man. Tragic of everything that happened. But we definitely just praying for them, man. That's all you can do as of right now.
Facts, man. So listen, guys, man, it was a whole lot of national talk this weekend. A whole lot. So honestly, I wasn't gonna plan on talking national ball, but
Yeah.
we have to. It's only right because the opinions are everywhere. And one thing that if you couldn't get a chance to talk to hear the live of your boy, that was that was a lot of information to take in.
Yeah.
But it was some I like how he was real about it. He ain't just make it seem like national ball is the only way to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the good part about that.
Yeah, so one thing about the lives that I like to do, I love to have some substance,
Right.
within the lives. You know, we laugh, we talk shit, we argue. I think it's good to have that rapport with each other, because at the end of the day, you know, once we all get around each other, it's always love.
Facts.
For the most part. So I don't want people to, think that if me and Cotty going at it or me and anybody else going at it, that we see each other, we really going to be to blows.
Right.
Now,
right.
me and Cotty we going to box. Man. But anybody else, we just talking shit, man. It's for the love of the game, man. That's just, what we do. Yeah, but when I had my boy on, Travis, he definitely gave some good nuggets.
Facts.
Just at the parent aspect of it. He played college football with me over at Bowie State. And he chose to, still just be a parent, and
Right.
not be over top of his kid and have to be on the field, let his kid fail and succeed, on his own. So which I can respect, what I mean?
Right.
A lot of people, especially parents that play college ball and play at a higher level, you might want to be a little bit more hands-on when it comes to the game of football. But, so a lot of things that he said, a lot of people heard what he said and was like, damn, that's different.
Right.
About his team being his son's team being in the house for a month and they can only call their parents twice.
Right. So when I heard him talking about that, Tracy McGrady had the same story when leaving Florida. So when you got skill or the parents got the money to do certain things, if you're a top prospect, they put you in a house full of other dogs.
Right.
But it's all about that skill, all about getting better.
Yeah.
And that was the plan. So when he was talking about that, I was like, yo, I heard that. And it was T-Mac. So when he was talking about it, like my eyes were just like bright because like they're doing that to even younger kids now. Because I didn't know they do that in 8th grade. They did that to T-Mac in high school.
Right.
So hearing him talking about that, and I'm like, yo, that's amazing. I wish we had that kind of stuff because my son would be straight in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, like there are even classes like they do
Right.
in Texas and Florida,
Right.
California.
Right.
So like they go to school for just football,
Right.
and like you got to be in certain classes by 6 a.m. workouts, practices. So like that's over the world now. So it's
Right,
more like
right.
just getting acclimated to everything that's going on.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and for some people that don't know what we're talking about, it was actually my homeboy. His son plays for the Maryland Heat. He played for the Mob 12U last year. This year, he skipped the 13U team and he's moved his son up to the 8th grade team, which they basically have 2 8th grade teams.
Right.
But the 8th grade team that he put his son on is some reclass. He said about, I don't know what he said, about 30% of the team or something is reclass kids. So it's a little bit older kids. He wanted to challenge his son a little bit more. And he just gave us a perspective of the traveling and what the atmosphere was like out there, and and that it can get crazy out there. You know,
Right,
the betting tens of thousands of dollars on the games and
Book bag full. He said it. He said it.
putting
Book
the
bag
money
full.
in the book bag. So you know, it's a different lifestyle, which I can't really. You know, I haven't coached national football.
Right.
I haven't been on the national stage, so it was even good for me to hear, you know, the type of things that go on out, you know, in the national world.
Right.
I mean, like I've been a couple like tournaments. Like I've been to the one in California and one in Ohio. Such as you, like you know, we won championships out there for the tournament. But it's like like when I hear national, I'm not.
It don't move.
It don't move me.
It don't. I feel the same way.
Because you gotta think about South Jersey ball.
Right.
Play nationals.
Nah, I ain't never.
No.
Did it help you get to the big stage? I'm just being, like, let's have a conversation.
Right.
Like South Jersey boys, like they fought hard to get to where
Right.
they at, and we have boys right now, and we all can agree that got Alabama knocking on our door.
Yeah.
So we never touched nationals. So
Right.
so when they say we have to, no, we don't have to.
Right.
We going to entertain it because it's interesting. It's a conversation.
That's what I was telling Isaac earlier. I said, if you look at our 18U Slime U team, them boys are balling, and nobody has ever mentioned or seen them once playing on national stage.
Never.
And I mean, we got to put it out there. Brooks got what, 20-something offers?
Yeah.
Not one down the national ball.
Yeah.
Now,
But
it's just the hard work.
it's just a nice conversation, in my opinion.
Facts.
And one thing when like what we're trying to do is what they've been doing. It's a big difference.
Right.
So
right.
what we're trying to do, we're trying to catch up. So now they're putting the pressure, in my opinion, they're putting the pressure on us to do it. I think we've been good where we are.
Right.
Our kids progress way better based on the athleticism they already had.
Right.
They never needed a OG to make us better. They never needed I don't know. I'm just different. I mean, I just seen our boys like we never needed help.
Yeah, but that's our era.
Yeah.
Right.
That's our era.
Imagine you playing national, putting all them boys together. Back
Right.
then, when you come on, be honest.
See, but his
that
stories,
team was crazy.
his
he
stories
played
already
on.
saying in Paulsboro, he was made tough.
Yeah.
So he didn't need national ball to become a tough ball player.
So where's the conversation? To be honest,
I mean,
I'm asking y'all like, so what is
Right.
the conversation?
I mean, you know, when it comes to the national football, that's just something we haven't been accustomed to here in South Jersey. So
Right.
we're used to our rec ball, you know, our kids playing versus, you know, basically their friends. You know, it's a lot of kids that they know. There's nothing wrong with national ball. I think that the competition level there does help the kids when they get to the next level.
Okay.
You know, when they get into the high school level, you playing that, you know, because that national ball, that shit's real. You know what I mean? And it's nothing that I seen or for myself, but just watching and seeing just shit off of YouTube.
Yep.
And talking to my boy who's been through it. That, you know, that shit ain't no cakewalk. He said they played 30 games last year.
Yeah, that.
And this ain't 30 fucking Clearview. You know what I'm saying?
right.
You know what I mean? So it does bring a different dog into those kids, which I'm not going to say that anything's wrong with playing national. I wouldn't agree playing 30 games, me personally.
On a 10-year-old body.
Yeah, no.
But the competition level is definitely preparing them.
Yes.
They've been through the war. So when they get to high school and they playing and they get to a prep school or a Catholic school, whatever, a private school, and they playing against top-notch competition, it's going to already be second nature to those kids.
It's just a matter of preparing.
To be a dog. They already have that dog.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? As far as our kids playing rec ball, they might have a different reaction to playing a different type of competition, you know, when they reach the next level. So I think that will be the only difference. But as we can see, we've been playing rec ball here for a long time. We send a lot of kids to Division I schools, Division II schools. And like I said before, the most important thing is to further their education. So, you know, if we getting kids into college, and you're going to have those kids that fall by the wayside. That's going to happen everywhere.
Right.
And that's why one thing I didn't agree with Cotty, which earlier Cotty said a lot of things that, you know, that that hit home for a lot of people. That was true.
Yeah,
As far
right.
as national football, but the one thing I didn't agree with was him saying that we wasting kids.
Yeah,
for not
I
going,
didn't like that
for
either.
not going. I don't think these kids. I mean, Brooks never played national ball, and he
Pop
got every
never played. He won
offer.
Super Bowl.
We
Right.
just watched
Right.
a kid from out here from Cumberland County win the Super Bowl. I mean, and I know that's a small margin amount of kids.
Right.
But NFL Super, that's not the end. That's not the ultimate goal. You know what I mean? The ultimate goal is to further your education.
Right.
The bonus is being able to make it to the
Right,
NFL.
but isn't there like a very small percentage of making it to the league anyway?
Yeah.
It's like it's hard.
to
It's
get
like
there.
1,500 job openings every year, right, in the NFL.
53, right?
No, I'm talking about
What'd you say?
total.
What'd you
It's
say?
Total?
like
Oh.
it's like a 1% chance to make it. Just because you get drafted doesn't mean you automatically make the squad. You know what I mean? You still got to put in the work. So just because we going national, mean every kid is gonna make it.
So, Master,
Right.
it goes back to my number
Yeah,
question.
right.
Do we need it?
Right.
I mean,
Listen, we signed up for it as a league.
Yeah.
So
So we already here.
I'm preaching to my kids, let's win Tri-County so we can get to Florida. But after watching YouTube them games, it's hard to agree that any team in Tri-County is really ready for
It's
that.
not what you think it is.
I'm
I played the number
I'm
one.
looking up
I
front.
went to
That's my
California.
thing.
I went to California. I played the number one team in the country.
Okay.
They were bigger than you, and we was 11 years.
I agree with that because what I saw, yo,
I can show you the film.
yo, these
And we
motherfucking
lost to
kids.
them 6-12.
It's coaching. It's coaching.
And the reason why we only lost, 'cause we fumbled 2 times at the 10-yard line.
Self-inflicted wounds. Look
South
at that.
Jersey have the best talent I've seen, in my opinion. That's my. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll pump us up to anybody. I'll put us up against anyone.
Right.
Anybody can say, "Well, you crazy." I think. Now, don't get me wrong. That team we seen Sunday. What's the letters again? CLP, whatever. What's the
City Life.
Yeah, City Light. I think they're a very good team.
Yeah.
But what happened when you get punched back?
Mhm.
They never been hit back. They played a good Blackhawks team last year. Lost. They won 13-12 against the Blackhawks. But that's not all we got.
Right.
We have to understand what when you say national football, that don't define who we are.
Right.
So when Cody say that, he have a reason to say what he feel. Like I told him, put a team together and go.
I think the biggest misconception is the reason why we don't go national is because the coaches' egos. I said this a couple times on the live. I just feel like we have enough national teams. We got Olympus, you got GA, you got EFP was doing it.
Which do good.
Winslow. So if there's more than enough teams for parents to go to if they want their kid to play
Right,
national
right.
football, you know what I'm saying? On a type of independent stage where they're going out and
Right, right.
making those type of schedules on their own. The parents got to be willing to do it. It's not on the coach. You
Yeah,
don't blame
your boy
Don't
said it.
blame me. Don't blame me. Right? If a kid that plays for me don't want to go play national,
right.
I'm not calling anybody's parents up like, yo, you better not be going here. Like I don't tell people what to do with their own kids.
Right.
People bring their kids to play for me because they see the product on the field.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
They come out to a practice and they sit and watch practice and say, shit, these kids is working. It's not, you know when you go to a practice and you know like this fucking coach don't know what the fuck's going on.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like if you showing up to practice as a coach and the kids and everybody there before you showing up and you just starting to set practice start at 6:00 and you starting to set up at 6:00.
No,
you
that's
behind the 8 ball.
Yep.
You missing out on time.
And on top of that, I actually seen it for myself. Like, I mean, Cody's a good person. I think he want the best for our state, which I can agree to that. But I can never do something that I know that my kids is not prepared and ready for.
Right.
So if I know that within seeing what I'm coaching is not ready for that level of football, I'm not gonna do it. One thing you can do is you can break a kid's spirit. Them boys out there,
AIP.
I
Oh
was
my.
right there. I was front and center. I said, help.
Oh,
I
Jesus.
called 911.
I mean, but if you don't hop out there, how do you know? How do
Right,
you know?
no,
right?
absolutely.
You gotta hop out.
But see,
I've
that's
seen
what.
parents.
But
we heard
listen,
parents.
Tri County is giving us the opportunity.
Yeah.
It may be not on the biggest stage that everybody's wishing for, all the opinions, but now we got a chance to just start. And that's what people always saying, like, go get your feet wet.
Yeah.
But we have to go through our season first, because right now we don't have those 1 to 5 teams that can go play on the independent schedule. And then our rule for the league is if you go independent or join a national schedule, you got to still fill the team.
Right.
So Glassboro did it; they were able to. You get what I'm
They
saying?
had the studs.
That's what I'm saying. They had those kids that be of age for that level, but not our Tri-County. But they still had to fill the team. Not every organization. I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But let me say this for everybody that think that I'm reading the comments. Listen.
Yo, you reading the comments?
Yeah.
Is he drunk? Is Miguel
I think
Sanchez drunk?
something wrong. Listen.
Oh.
Because
Hey, did you do something there, bro?
what they don't want you to do is like they don't want
This
you.
nigga
He's been
just
calling
yeah.
Mike
Hold on,
Sarah since
because I've been trying to ignore
Because they
it,
don't
bro.
like me.
What's up with this nigga, bro?
I
Like,
tell my opinion, and this is how I feel.
Facts.
yo, this
We
nigga been on
never
100.
needed no nationals to make our kids great. We just never needed it. So what they doing is they trying to, y'all need to do this, or they downplay us like we're not great, which they're nowhere. We're like our kids are good. Look at what's going on now. Philly is taking our best kids and taking them over there and talking shit toward us.
Yep.
And Santiago said that it's basically just said it's the parents' choice, but that coaches definitely have an influence. So I can agree to that.
Yeah.
I can definitely agree to that. I have never stared any parent away from leaving me
No.
Right.
or leaving my team, and I brought it to parents like, yo, after we did the D1, it was serious talks about doing the slime,
The slime. Yep.
the
I
slime,
remember
Olympic
that.
slime.
That was a good.
And we
that
was
a good idea.
It was serious talks, but when I was for real with it. You know what I mean? I'm like, if I tell you, yeah, I'm gonna do something, I'll do that. I'm
Right,
gonna do it.
right.
I'm a man of my word. But when the parents and the kids got second thoughts about it,
Can't force
I'm
them.
not gonna force them.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna force them into it because I already know that's gonna take that different type of time away from, like, people got jobs.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Got other kids. I know these parents not built for it.
Yo, listen, your boy said it. He said it was times he didn't know if he was gonna be able to sleep in his house because his wife was so fucking pissed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pissed.
Like telling his son, like, yo, we might be sleeping in the car after this weekend's tournament.
Because it's like
'Cause
you
it
gotta
puts
be
a strain.
financially stable
Yeah.
and okay with traveling like that.
Or got the blueprint.
Bro,
They're like, I see all the
it was
guys-
a lot of money, bro. It's a lot of money. It takes a lot of fundraising.
Hey, can Miguel just get off the pod? Why? And he's so angry about it.
I don't know.
And
But
why is he still on here watching?
it's only based on the fact that
You know him?
I know him. He think
Oh,
that's dude.
well,
He think that I always down national. No, I do not. I'm just saying that I'm not
He
not
said
the
you held
first
Brooks.
one.
He said you held Brooks back all the
Man,
years.
Brooks, you see what Brooks is doing?
Shit.
You see what Brooks
We
doing
see
right now?
firsthand.
Hey,
He said
listen.
you held him back all them
listen,
years, bro.
Pop, Demby, man, listen, bro. We never needed you, bro. We can go on and on, bro. We just never needed it. Not saying that we don't need it. One, we don't need it, but we okay opening up to stepping into that making that step to do it.
Right.
I never told nobody not to do it. That's one thing I never did. I said we just don't need it as much as everyone else.
He said y'all niggas weird.
I see it.
We just on here talking football, bro. You came on here being a complete fucking weirdo for no reason.
You hostile, bro. You
Yeah,
gotta relax, bro.
Like, for no reason, bro.
Because everybody have their opinions.
We
bro.
started talking. He said, "What are we talking about? When's the next podcast?" Get the fuck up. Hey, like, you're the only weirdo on here, bro. Just get off if you don't want. If you don't like the show. We
Bro,
are.
if I don't like somebody, I don't comment. I just log off.
Everybody not gonna like it, man. You know what they say. If you don't got nothing nice, don't say nothing at all.
You've got to be one of those guys. But my thing is, there's nothing wrong with. I would never say I always looked at national. Well, when I went to tournaments, I never say nationals. Let me say tournaments. When I went to tournaments, I felt it was a money grab. Like
that-
you paying
that
like
was-
300 to 400
right.
for a kid to get on a plane, then you paying for hotels, which was like a lot of money. And they asked me to do it. I said, I'm not going nowhere. Let somebody pay for me. Like, it's real out here. I'm not acting like I got it. But if you want me to go, you got to pay for it. And there's a lot of coaches out here dedicating their time.
Yes,
And you ask them to
absolutely.
go away from their families and takes $3,000 or $4,000 to go, and then you're helping other kids. How many kids I sign up? How many kids I've signed up back in the day?
Yep.
Like, we sign kids up, we buy kids food, we make sure they got cleats, they make sure they got tape.
Yep.
That comes with money. Know what I mean? So Nationals is okay. I'm just looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we had a good meeting, good Tri-County meeting today.
Yeah.
It was short and sweet. I like when Frank runs the Tri-County meetings because last year John would drag that shit out
Oh,
for 2
my
hours and
God.
saying absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
It was sure, you get down to the nitty gritty, figure out what the fuck we need to say, information that need to be had. Anybody got any questions, and let's get up out of here. I've never had, there was never any quick meetings.
Right,
last year.
right.
It was just always a bunch of the same shit said over and over and over again. But one thing you do gotta register your team.
Early.
What? August?
Mm-hmm.
August something.
All rosters got to be.
What did they just say? August 13th or
13th.
September? Something.
For what, the
Something
Nationals?
Yeah. So if you feel like
By
your
September.
team, if you feel
Yeah,
like your
the beginning
team,
of September.
if you feel like your team will have the opportunity to go to
Right.
Florida, you gotta register your team.
Okay.
Now I wonder if you register your team for Nationals, can I register somebody like Wes on my team? Why?
Nah, I think they said right.
Well,
I think they
when
said
you
they
hand
have
them in
to
there
play.
locked.
Yeah,
How
I think
do
he
you
has
know?
to play for you.
He played.
Please, that's past tense, bro. What are you talking about?
He played D1.
Dude,
I coached him. You know what I mean? So
I'm just saying they be cheating. I heard
we heard
teams
it.
be.
Yep.
That's the thing about us, right? Every time we go somewhere, we go by the rules.
Yep. And
I
they
be
learned
the
that.
only one.
I learned that down Ohio. I mean, granted, we haven't really done any top-notch tournaments. That's like
Right.
we haven't really been part of AYF or battle type of tournaments. But we went down every time we go down Ohio. Everybody used to go down Ohio. I like the Ohio tournament.
We was on
Personally,
TV.
it was on TV. Kids got to go down to the Hall of Fame.
That was dope.
Right.
NFL players came and spoke. I think our year it was Rod Woodson. Rod Woodson coached with the Steelers when I was there.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
coaching, so I knew
Legend. Hall of Famer.
I know Rod Woodson. So boom, I got the kids. He came over, talked to the kids, took pictures with the kids. All that shit was dope to me. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
And it was good competition down there. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't no slouches. I mean it was some slouches, but it was some good ass
A
teams.
lot of teams you see in the
It was some
way
good
right
ass
now.
teams down there. So
I
I wish
don't-
they would if they would bring that back a little bit.
right.
I
I
entertain that.
don't think we scared.
We've never been scared.
We've never been scared. I think it's just we don't want to go unprepared.
Who's using their vacation days?
I'm already done.
I'm not.
No,
I'm
listen,
sorry.
listen. If we go to Florida, dog, I gotta take a week of no pay.
Exactly. I mean, like, you have to be, again, you have to be prepared.
Right.
And I think UIFL, he said it before, UIFL and Quincy, UIFL is perfect for us. It's
Right,
perfect
right.
for us.
There goes your answer, Isaac.
Whatever.
Greg Mitchell.
What do you say?
He said he has to be on your roster and play in 4 UIFL teams.
Yeah, I know. I know what the rule says.
Oh, but can you do it? Oh, can you do it like, yo, listen, man,
I
sleight
know
of hand.
I know what the rule says, but you know what I mean.
Facts.
How they gonna know how many games he played?
Right.
And that's what, it's the little things that we need to know about when it comes to national, because it's like, I felt like every time we went out of state, like, I felt like we were the only one following the rules. And then when you get there, they throw you to the wolves.
No,
First
we
game.
we do it in Slime U. We follow the rules, next you know we getting cheated out, going to championships and shit.
Telling you.
Like that's weird to me, bro.
They always think we're just basketball only.
That-
Well, I think most of the time, man, our coaches we got stand up coaches when it
Right,
comes.
right.
We not out to try to cheat kids, man.
Yeah.
But everybody don't have that mind frame.
Right.
And a lot of people don't even look at it as cheating half the time. Like they just
It's what
they
we
want to
do.
win so
Yeah,
bad,
it's
bro.
what we do.
They be blind to
Facts,
it.
Yep.
facts.
And
yeah.
I think that for the most part out here with the South Jersey and our coaches, I feel like we gonna go by the book because we don't feel like it's a reason to go out here and cheat kids at the end of the
Right.
day.
So, question:
Yeah.
what would it take to have a successful startup? Like if we say we're gonna do this national shit, what would be our first steps? You could say coaches' names if you want, doesn't matter, because it's all hypothetical. What would be your opinion and be like, you know what, this is how the direction we're gonna go, and we're gonna start it right here.
Me personally is the rules. Now, I'm very in particular to what we're getting in and what is everybody else following. I want to follow
Right,
the same
right.
thing. I want to be on the same page. Because if they don't got waivers, I don't want none.
That's
They
what
don't
he
got
been,
out of
that's,
districts?
that's what
I
he
don't
been
want none of
saying
them.
since this whole shit started.
Because guess what? Because we're going to get to Florida. And they ain't going to be no out of districts. So none of them.
Yo,
Because
listen,
we the only one dealing with it.
Isaac Boyd said the California team, Dream Chasers, I believe, got 3 kids from Atlanta that they fly out. That's insane, bro. That's national ball. We ain't got nothing against it, but we ain't doing that out here.
It's not that serious.
we
And I think that for the people that think like us, we don't think it's that serious, but to them that shit really is that
everything.
serious.
Everything.
But that's that down south
Because
stuff, bro.
because when you betting $10,000 on a
facts.
fucking game, it's that serious.
It's real.
We might bet a shot, some 10 push
get
ups.
to the bar, right.
But if I'm betting $10,000 on the game, you fucking right. I'm trying to fly somebody in.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I seen Reggie Reed had commented earlier on the live and was like, you know, when they was going to national games, he was like, bro, them coaches was throwing money around like so many times he got approached for bets. You know what I'm saying? And I've never ever bet on my team
Right.
that I've coached.
Yeah, me neither.
I've never bet on my team that I'm coaching.
Right.
And I've never bet on football. I've never bet anybody. I bet Rock of a day up like a platter.
Right.
Just because I was talking, I didn't even think EFP was going to win. I
Right,
just was
right.
supporting Zay.
Right.
I'm like, Zay gonna fuck y'all up. We can bet a platter or whatever.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? But like, I'm not trying to bet. I'm not trying to bet on kids. And that's when the atmosphere changes. You know what I mean? That's when you get kids being killed in front of their kids on the field.
Yeah.
That's when you get that. You know, I think that shit is. I think that's too much
Right,
on the national stage.
And it's not controlled.
No.
I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're building a team,
Oh, you said what we think would be the recipe for a good startup?
Right, for a
so
good
you were
startup.
saying like a startup, maybe like I think
As a league.
to be
No,
he's
as
talking
a
about
team.
as a
Oh,
team.
as a team.
So
Okay.
I think I'm gonna take Olympus for example.
Okay.
I think Olympus is doing a great job, right?
Okay.
I think when RJ left Kingsway, RJ had a vision, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people like, oh, he didn't win the championship. He had his own vision,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So one thing I don't agree with, which a lot of people say, if you can't win the championship here, why are you trying to go do something nationally? Don't judge a man what somebody else is trying to do and
Right.
trying to get exposure for their kids.
we should be supporting him.
Right. So I think Olympus did luck up and when Gibbstown folded and they were able to secure
A location.
a location.
Right,
that
right,
was big.
right.
That was big for
I
them.
agree with that.
Right. So that was big for them. Now they have a practice facility, they have a game facility. They have everything they need for an organization.
Right.
So I think they have like kind of that blueprint. I think to start a successful organization, I think first and foremost you gotta have a facility.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like I hate to see people out and they practicing in a park, you know what I mean, with swings and shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
I think to have a successful team, you gotta have a facility first and foremost. Where you gonna play your home games? Where you gonna practice at?
Right.
Where you gonna have the equipment, the bags, the sled,
Yep.
the things that you gonna need to run the organization. The kids and the coaches, all that shit come after that. You gotta figure out where the hell you gonna play, where you gonna practice at, and you know, first and foremost.
I agree with that because it's a place you call home.
Right.
It feel good as a coach, especially.
Well, I ain't
Turn
gonna
on the
lie.
lights, click it on.
I'm big. I'm being honest. I'm really big on teams that just get up, make a league, and make a team and just go.
and just go.
Out of state. I'm big on that, but I understand why you said that.
But that's where we going though.
But I'd
that-
rather
that's-
you win.
This.
though.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I gotta have a championship state of mind. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Not taking away from what you're saying, but man, I'd rather you win here Then when you go down there, I know that you got a championship stadium. Because what they're doing now, they're starting a recipe for disaster. They listening what we say on live.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, Sunday. I ain't mentioning no teams. Good grief.
Yo,
Well,
it was bad.
So are
It was
you saying
bad.
are you saying that teams need to pick and choose when to step outside?
What is wrong with that? Like, I'm asking y'all, is that a bad thing?
No, I mean, if you never go, you never
wouldn't
know,
know,
right?
right.
If you
Sometimes as
don't-
coaches, we all
if you
coaches
never
correct.
know, you never.
Yeah.
If you
We all
never,
coaches correct.
correct.
yeah.
You can look at your team and tell.
Well, that's true.
Come on.
But that's
Come
the
on,
point
bro.
of this question. How do you start out with the roster?
I agree what
you,
he
you
said
get what
about
I'm
the
saying? It's
venue,
steps to this.
All that is
So
so
we got-
important.
we got
I
the
think
venue
skill
out the way.
positions, skill
Okay.
position coaches is very important. If you have the coaching staff, if you have the coaching staff, I think that's number one before you. The venue, of course, you have to have that,
Mm-hmm.
but the coaching staff got to be number two. That the skill position. I seen that team from what's that CLL? What's that?
City Life.
City
City
Life.
Life. I seen everybody had a position. They coached. That's it.
Yup, I was seeing the same thing.
No, did nobody cross each other?
Yo, what I like is that kids didn't play offense and defense.
Oh no, it was 11 out, 11 in.
I was like, yo, I fell in love with that.
Yeah,
Because that means that means those kids are getting taught their position. And I got a nugget from somebody on a higher level months ago. Start teaching these kids how to perfect the craft.
right.
And I love when kids can go both ways, but let's be honest. The higher level you go, you're gonna have to stick to one side of the ball.
Well, I'm gonna play devil's advocate though, because they said that it was like a 8U or a 9U team doing the same thing, right? So,
Okay.
are we gonna limit these kids at
No,
a young
no,
age
no.
of playing one side
no,
of
no.
playing one side of the
I
ball?
agree to that too.
You're not playing
You know,
devil's
I mean,
advocate because at that age,
I
you
agree
got to
with that.
learn everything.
Yeah.
I mean, but they got so many kids and so many
Right,
dogs
that's what
on
it
the
is.
team.
Right.
That's kind of the best way to go. But
don't that
it's
hurt you in a way?
I mean, it could hurt. I mean, it could
coaching
hurt.
staff.
It could help. But if Johnny ain't worrying about scoring touchdowns, and he worried about knocking somebody's head off every play,
We know where to
and
put
now
you.
he's becoming the best linebacker that he can possibly be.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And which it's a double-edged sword. But when I grew up and I played midget football, I was the best defensive player. I wasn't the best running back on the team
Right,
because I
right.
wasn't the fastest player. A lot of things in midget
Is
had to do.
out-
I was one of
speeding
the, I was
outside.
one of the best running backs.
Right.
But I was a dog on defense. So if I was playing in these time and days for a national team,
Right.
I'd be a linebacker playing defense.
Right.
And I would never even know how good I was at running back.
So what
That's what
level?
I'm
So
saying.
what
You know what
level
I'm saying?
do you think the 13U and 14U down your boys' ways 8th grade? Do you
Yeah.
think that's the level you should be focusing on one side of the ball?
Say that again.
The 13U
Uh-huh.
and 14U, which is 8th grade ball and national,
Yeah.
I believe. Do you think that's the proper grade to start the one side of the ball, like learning that craft? Do you think that's the levels we should start at?
I don't have a problem with that at that age, but I would still like the kids that dibble and dabble on both sides of the ball, man. Because I mean, these kids are talented. You got talented kids. I hate to put a kid in a box and say he a corner, he gonna play corner, and that's all he gonna play.
Right, but what if his training is that's what he's doing?
I don't have a problem with it
Okay,
either way. I'm
okay.
just I
get
just
what
don't
you're
like
saying.
to put a kid in a box.
Yeah.
But one thing that my boy was saying that the high school coaches are coaching that team.
Right.
So if,
I love that.
If the
That's-
high school you
that's
going to
something
is telling you only playing one side of the ball,
That's different.
you know what I mean? And these coaches is coaching you in 8th grade,
Yep.
and they telling you like, you coming here, are you coming to our high school? You playing corner.
Yep.
At high school, this is what you gonna do. I'm gonna get you a D1
Right,
scholarship.
right,
We're
right.
gonna make you the best
See,
corner
but that's the
in
goal
in the nation.
That's the one of the
then
goals.
that's
right?
a different that's a different story.
Right.
That is true. I agree with that all the way. But my thing is like, what if you're hindering him in high school and on offense? What if he's the best thing on offense, but you just want him on defense? It goes back to that too.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a double-edged
Double-edged
sword,
sword,
bro.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you got those you know who those kids are. That some kids is a corner and he's a corner. He's not a great wide receiver. He's not a great running back, but he's a fucking all-American corner.
Yeah.
But then you got those kids like like a Brooks, where he could be a D1 corner or a D1 wide receiver.
Yeah.
You have those kids that when you see that talent as a coach, you can't limit them to one side. Of the football.
I saw a college measure him up, made him jump, measured his arms, all that stuff, right? And they were debating, like, is he a DB or receiver? Like, they just couldn't figure it out because his measurements were just like off the charts.
Yeah.
So they're like, and that was amazing to see, because for a top program to see a kid, and they're like, damn, we really don't know.
But you got to think about
Well,
it.
he can really he might be better at corner than he is at receiver.
I think he's better at corner, in my opinion. But on offense, man, how you got to think about how we used to train him.
See, nobody knows that.
We used to have him as I used to be the quarterback, and he used to be on that side. We say go, 1, 2, 3, throw as far as we can.
And go get it.
If we don't hit it, nah, come back.
Yo, he told me,
different.
yo, Brooks told me, I said, yo, you always catching the slant and just taking to the house. He said, man, them niggas is too big. I'm not trying to get hit.
Oh, you're like, bro.
I'm out. He's like,
Bro.
I don't like getting hit. You
But
crazy.
Bro, you understand, though, but, man, he got a story, bro.
Oh,
He got a story, man. I
Listen.
can't wait till he tell it.
that's great. I'm not ultra familiar with it,
Yeah.
but having the grown man talk with him when we were in Atlanta and he stayed back, and I had a conversation with him through the night, like, we got into some details, personal business, and it just made me that much closer to that kid. You know what I'm saying? So I know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I know where you're coming from.
Yeah. But that's a lot of South Jersey
Right,
kids,
a lot,
man.
a lot.
And that's why it pisses me off when somebody talk about our kids. I take offense to that.
Right, especially
Because
you know,
I'm keeping it real with you. Like we never been scared of nobody. But if we don't want to do it, we are not going to do it. You can't make us do nothing.
So a lot of college coaches want to see kids on the field as much as possible.
So I get that, but also when a recruiter comes to see you play, 9 times out of 10 they already know about you.
Yeah.
They want to see all the other things, and that's what I was preaching to my boys during the week. My 14U boys. I'm like, if you see a college coach here, a high school coach here, they already know about you. Somebody put the bug in. They probably got good information. They want to see how you reacting with your teammates. When you get subbed out, if we doing somebody out, what are you doing on the sideline? Little Johnny drops the ball. What are you doing? Is the number one receiver going to him and be like, yo, listen, put your hands like this. Like, they see those little things.
About leadership, man. They
Exactly.
Want to see the leadership.
And you know what's important that they do watch? The people who cheering for you.
Yeah.
Are they acting on the stands going crazy? Because they don't want none of that traveling with you.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? So it's Greg Mitchell. I agree with you, and then there's another side to that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if
They don't want the baggage.
right, and then another thing, Corey Rivers, no one side before college, like basically just play both sides.
I think it's good to play both, man.
It's good, but I live here in Woodbury.
Opinion,
I live here in Woodbury.
It depends. It depends on where you playing.
Exactly.
At, man. Like
right.
If you at a school where you're going to have to, they going to do like one side. You play one side of the ball.
Right.
And you know that before you go to that high school.
Right.
What type of school? These Group 1 schools, they don't have the players to play one side of the ball. You're going to have to play both sides.
So
of the
we
ball.
got a player over here in Woodbury with Group 1. They're the kid Reagan.
Yeah.
When he first started, he was playing both sides.
It's a dog.
But then he started realizing that dog, he got in the weight room more, his ACL injury.
Yeah.
Now he's just a running back. He may be needed at corner, you never know. But dog, he is becoming a fucking animal out there.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch him play.
I
Yeah.
remember when Reagan played middle
And
linebacker.
there's another kid that might be coming to Woodbury from St. Francis national team. Personal things going on, and he's decided to choose Woodbury to come and play his senior year.
Man, send him the pause, bro.
Nah.
But how was that with you, man? Like, how was that with you, like, with Paulsboro? Like, how was that with you in the whole transition? Like, because, like, we all know that, like, that's your home.
Yeah.
But how was that, like, high school, you got, like, that's where you came from. Like Like how you feel about that?
As far as like leaving Paulsboro, coming to Deptford.
Yeah, Deptford.
I mean, once you from Paulsboro, you from Paulsboro.
Automatic.
You know what I'm saying?
Automatically.
So, like, I hang out in Paulsboro. Like, all my friends from Paulsboro.
He
for the
recruiting
most-
kids driving by.
You know, for the most-
That
you know
was
what I'm
the
saying?
funniest.
I
I've
just
had-
logged on. He said, I'm looking for a kid.
I got written up because I pulled over, bro. I was dying.
Me too.
Nah.
I was crying.
But on some real shit, like I don't like that was all for jokes and games and
Yeah,
shit though.
right.
Like I'm not that type of person. I'm not trying to come to Paulsboro and recruit kids from
Right,
Paulsboro. 'Cause
right.
I'm not trying to hurt Paulsboro's organization whatsoever.
Right.
But I mean, if I have a camp, it's gonna be in Paulsboro.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? That's and that's
As
what
it
I
should be.
That's what I've did since I played. I played in the league. My first camp I did at Paulsboro. I actually charged and then gave the proceeds to Paulsboro Major League Football.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
now,
dope.
That's dope. That's
so
real
now,
dope.
now it's free. So Paulsboro always gonna be home. Whatever. I love the Deptford organization.
Mm-hmm.
It's a difference between I'm Paul. That Paulsboro made me who I am from a little kid.
Absolutely.
I lived in Paulsboro my whole entire life until I left and went to college.
Crazy ass Harvey family.
You know what I'm saying? So, it was different when I got to Deptford for sure. Did I want to leave Paulsboro? Hell no, I didn't want to leave Paulsboro. Things happen, misunderstandings happen. You know what I mean? Everything happens for a reason. I feel like.
Yep.
So it wasn't like I was shopping around or trying to figure out. I wasn't even worrying about coaching in Deptford. I was just going to let my son play there, and I wasn't going to coach no more. And then they was like, "Yo, come here and coach. Come here and coach. If
Right.
your son coming, come coach." And I'm like,
But let me ask you a question. Like, so this gonna be the first game you ever coached in Paulsboro?
"No, I coached in Paulsboro we were our first year sophomores.
Okay.
Okay.
We was first year sophomores.
How
so
was
this
that?
That was the other
That
league.
was weird.
Was that the other league?
That SJU.
On the
that
the opposite
weird.
side
Yeah,
of the
that
field.
was weird.
Yeah,
as
I
fuck.
can only imagine.
Yeah, that shit didn't feel right.
Yeah, but right. I never
I
asked you
played
that.
there all my my
Yeah.
major career.
Yeah.
Like I never felt that feeling of being on the fucking visitor side.
Right.
You on the other side.
You know what I'm saying?
next
But
to the fence.
I hate to have to fuck them up.
No, listen, man, it's part of the process, dog.
I hate to have to fuck them up. I'm sure if Shantae Scott was on here, she probably would have said
was
fuck
on
that.
there.
She
Nah,
probably
she
would've-
was on
she
here.
Probably, I know. She must not still be on. She probably would have said fuck Deptford as soon as we start talking about it.
That's
If
funny.
Shot was on here, but I hate to have to do that to them week one impulse, bro. So I'm gonna send my condolences. I'm gonna send some edible arrangements and shit. After
Listen,
the game.
man, who you gonna send them to?
Huh?
Who you gonna send them to?
I'm sending them cousin Calvin.
There you go.
Yo,
I'ma send them some-
back and forth is funny, bro.
Bro, because Calvin will take you to the point where you're gonna pull up
I
to his
see
house.
it. I never.
And
listen,
that's why I'll try to refrain from arguing with Calvin.
He don't stop.
Because he gonna say some shit that's gonna make you so mad, and he gonna enjoy the rest of his day.
Yep.
Yeah, you pissed.
Damn. So we had a conversation, Isaac. I want to go. I just want to rewind real quick. We had a conversation about the 14U rule for the high school to ninth graders, and you said you think it's a good opportunity for the youth coaches to just build a bridge to those high school programs. So yesterday I had Coach Nomics, Group 1 state champ, come over and talk to my boys. And me and him had an excellent conversation. And he liked the idea. He liked it. And he actually gave me some teaching points that he's doing with his guys so I can relay it to my guys. So whoever chooses to go next year or in the ninth graders to play, they kind of already going with it, because if you're not going to get those reps, there's no freshman team in Woodbury.
Yeah.
So if you ain't getting the reps in JV, you ain't doing nothing.
Yo, when I saw on your story that he was speaking to the team, and I was like, that's dope.
Yeah.
I said they creating
Yep.
that bridge between the teams, and you need that because ninth graders can play now.
Right.
And we talked about it,
Yep.
and now you putting the plan into motion.
Yep.
And he on board with
Yep.
it. That's all you need is for the high school coach to be on board, because a lot of these high school coaches is corny. Even if they can't use the kid,
Right, they'll
and
be
the
like,
kid
hell
won't,
no.
and the kid won't get one snap
Yep.
at JV,
Yep.
they gonna be corny about it. But Nomics is a cool dude.
Yep. So I told him straight up, I said, listen, I will not try to recruit a ninth grader that's just going to get reps. I'm not that kind of coach. And as soon as I said that, his facial expression, he like a sigh of relief. And I think that was the dope part, and that's where everything just started connecting. So, I do have already I got one already. And he's just, I don't know if he's gonna start with me, but he's gonna get the reps, he's gonna get the practice.
Is it Omar?
No, not Omar.
Is Omar coming?
Omar's staying.
Really? I talked to his peoples today this morning.
Oh.
I told him that the best opportunity
For him.
for him, I believe, would be to
come
stay.
back.
Yeah. So
I think that's a great thing to implement.
I meant to
Right.
call you
It's the
about
high
that
school.
earlier
Yeah.
today, but his peoples called me this
Okay,
morning and was
okay.
asking me about this whole situation. He was like, Omar do what he wanted to do. I think he went up to the workhouse the other day. Did he come up to the field the other
Yeah,
day?
yeah, it was yesterday.
Okay.
He was there yesterday.
Yeah, but
That's good.
See, I
that's something
can't-
you got to talk to Namas about, though.
Right.
If Namas got plans,
and that's
for
what I
him,
told him, that
that's different.
I will communicate with him. He's gonna give me the insight
Yeah,
on these players because they're in high school.
yeah.
I have no say so for them. If you tell me this kid is gonna need to work, open arms, and we're gonna learn and we're gonna work.
But that's good. I mean, even from you even getting the support from the high school.
Yeah.
'Cause a lot of organizations don't even got support from the high school.
Facts.
So that's good.
Here's my question about the 9th grade rule. So we put the rule in place to help the 14U
Uh-huh.
with the amount of kids, because a lot of teams struggling, right, to field the teams. Do you think that hurts or helps the situation if only the kids can come from their sending districts?
So
Because if you're trying to help, if
Right.
you're trying to help the team, you like on the meeting today, right?
mhm, the question was asked, yeah.
Cumberland kids can't play for Bridgeton
because they're out of district.
because they don't go to the high school. But
Right.
what if Bridgeton is struggling to fill the
Right.
team, but there's 5 kids from Cumberland willing to come out and play, but they can't come there because they're not going to Bridgeton. That helps nobody.
Right. I think in the process of making this rule, I think the first thing they after the birthday, I think they try to cut off all loopholes for a team to take advantage. And I think that's the sacrifice. And to me, I don't like it because if a kid can play and he's an out of district kid, then
Yeah.
you gonna leave him out there?
Yeah, I
Let
think
him play for somebody.
I think out of district kids should. I think you should allow out of district kids to come play. Maybe have a cap on it, like anything else.
certain amount of quarters.
They still just count against your out of districts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think they should just still count as your out of districts. But I think if we're trying to help teams fill teams, because we took the 12-year-olds off the level, I think we gotta like try to figure out something better than they only can live in Whoop area if you want to play for Whoop.
Right.
I mean, I think if that, like, Cumberland is a high school that their organization have been down for like at least 3 to 4 years. I think they should be able to choose where they want to go. I think it'd be easier.
Right.
I mean,
to make the kids-
especially with the transfer portal now, these kids is
They
going
go
there.
anywhere they
These
want.
kids is going wherever they want to go now.
Anywhere. That's wow. So
Where's PT, man?
I know.
Is
Let me see if he
PT calling
texted
in?
me.
I haven't seen him on the line though.
No,
PT.
I saw him.
He's going.
Oh, PT supposed to call in. PT, you can call. Anybody got any statements, any questions, anything, man? We can start.
Yo, tell me if y'all hear this. Tell me if y'all hear this.
Hey.
Tell me if y'all hear that.
Yeah, we got the sound effects popping, baby.
Nah, but I just think overall youth football is like for South Jersey only going to get better. I mean, I think that we're at a good pace of where we at. We just gotta just take care of the little things. I mean, the
Right,
little
right.
things that we just need to attack early, so it won't affect us moving forward. I just think that we should be on. It's one thing that I talked to what's the president's name again?
Frank.
Excuse me, Frank.
I want
Sorry.
to get Frank on here, by the way, one day.
Frank is a good guy.
Yeah,
Great
Frank-
guy, bro.
Frank, you can call
He's
in too.
approachable. He's approachable. He'll speak to you and everything. But one thing that we have to get down packed is the rules.
Facts.
I think that we should be able to adapt the same rules that everybody else playing. So when we get to Florida, we all on the same
Right.
same thing. But Hey, listen, man, we
Let-
made the first step.
Let me know. Let me know if I'm wrong. Am I wrong for wanting to abide by the same rules as everybody else?
No, because I'm on the same thing.
Right away.
I want the same thing. So I definitely
Like I voiced my opinion, and it's not me. I'm not. I don't want it to come off as I'm bashing Tri County or bashing the board because I'm on the board, right? I'm on the executive board. I'm not bashing the president. I'm not bashing Frank.
No.
I'm definitely a big supporter of Frank, of what Frank's trying to do for the league, and I've said that multiple times because I think the league is definitely moving forward in the right direction. I just think that it's so hard for Tri-County to make these moves because so many teams are stuck in their ways. And it's cool to me, like if as a whole, if we vote as a whole, if we vote as a whole and the vote is to stay rec, bro, I promise you I'm 100% cool with that.
Yeah,
I'm not out here trying to force Tri-County to go national
me neither.
or force Tri-County to go by any set of rules. But my thing is once we make that leap, then we got to make the leap.
All the way.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't say, I'm not in the meeting saying we need to go UIFL. I didn't know anything about UIFL till it was brought to us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying when we do, and now we're in UIFL, now that we made the leap, we got to do something to help our teams compete.
Yeah.
Right? We got to do something
right.
to help our teams compete nationally if that's what we voted to go, or if that's what our league decided to do.
And that's what I was scared of. I was scared of us going halfway. I was scared of us going 75%. Only based on the fact I know Tri-County. I've been raised in Tri-County my whole life. So I know about Tri-County. We are okay where we at, literally. I will pay Pennsville twice a year. I'm okay. Like, I'm literally okay with that. I'm not like, oh my God, I'm tired of playing them. No. Our rivalries are the best rivalries across the country, in my opinion.
He's about to go to the Yellow Pages, bro. Like people.
Go to the Yellow. Like, I'm literally okay with. Like, yo, if we never would have switched over to UFL, I'll be okay with Tri-County.
Same
I'm
here.
being honest.
I'm cool with it, man. I'm cool with it.
I don't have to take away from my vacation days. I don't have to none of that. I'm okay.
I'm cool with it, and I think the biggest problem
They
is
hate that. They don't like that.
here's the number one problem. People get so mad over Cotty's rankings.
I don't get mad.
Cotty has a chokehold on these national dudes. That's who it is. Because the second he ranks rec teams with national teams, they get so mad.
Yep. And we get a target on our back.
And Cotty is fucking
Loving it.
doing it for a reason. Because he wants to start this conversation.
There's a method to his madness,
He wants
bro.
to start this conversation, right? Far as rec and national and why this is why we need to go national so we can play these teams. But they get mad, bro, to the point where these teams hate Defford and they never even seen us play.
Yeah.
He said, I don't even know what color y'all wear. I'm like, so why you hating us?
Right? These people got every time like it's people got shit to say about my team because they ranked over some this is one man's opinion.
Yep.
You know
That's
what I'm saying? And from him ranking certain rec teams over national teams, that make these national teams like, oh, if y'all want to be national, then do this and then do this and do this and play that, did it. Y'all taking off of what Cotty ranking teams and putting that onto the teams.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We fine. I'll play whoever. We can play preseason games and do all that.
Right.
I got the 215 and we playing West Philly in the preseason.
215 Extreme.
Extreme.
Okay.
215 Extreme now. So we got 215 Extreme. We got West Philly. We try to get the game with the Dark Knights.
You said that
The
fell
dates,
through,
the
right?
dates didn't match up, but we're gonna still do like a joint practice,
Okay.
type scrimmage together just to get some work with each other, to get better. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it's like, bro, we cool in our lane.
Right.
We don't. Cotty does the talking, and this team can beat that team. You don't see a lot of teams on here like worried about these other teams because we're not built like them other teams.
Right,
So you're not
right.
going. I'm only going to talk when teams start talking crazy. You start
Facts.
talking crazy about me, now I'm gonna get on here, now I'm be mad. Now you got me yelling, telling me to fuck y'all up. all that shit.
Writing checks.
Bro, I be
Cause
dying
y'all
when
niggas
Isaac
be,
goes
y'all,
on.
I be tired of niggas talking about.
Sometimes I be happy when you go off though,
because
because sometimes
that
like they
shit
be
be pissing me off,
like they
bro.
have to
Right.
feel that wrath. Because like if you was in front of me, because when we have been in situations where they're in front of us and they're
Right.
not, them words they click on, they typing is not, bro. But we come with love. We enjoy
Facts.
talking shit to each other. Because you know what? We know it's gonna stay right there. You know what I'm saying? So when we don't know you talking like that, we gotta touch the temperature.
Right.
Me personally, I just don't care about nationals. I just have fun. I just like going live and telling people like you're not what you think you are. Because one, you cannot say at South Jersey we suck when you go there and you lose every year.
Right.
I'm okay with it.
So
That's
I
my
know-
opinion.
So I know the recruiting wars.
Oh man. Yo, listen, shout out. Oh, let me put that
So-
on camera.
So
Shout
I
out to
know-
my boy Q, man.
So I
We
know.
represent
Why you start talking about?
Because I already know you.
I
dog.
wasn't even going to
You
go there.
smiling, bro.
Bro, I wasn't even going to go there.
Yo.
It was.
Oh, speaking of recruiting wars, man.
But shout out to the 10U, man. Listen, man, I'm not saying nothing. I'm not. It's, yo, we just ready, man. Like when you hear things for so long, you just like, okay, man, I'm tired of y'all talking. And
I
August
don't think
20th.
I mean the recruiting wars is good, man. I didn't get that many recruits after the recruiting wars. to be
But we
honest with
did. And
No, you just got one that broke the internet for some reason, bro.
That's
yo,
'cause
Isaac,
I-
I swear to God, bro, you broke the internet. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
I ain't break the internet. His mom broke the internet. I
Right,
ain't
My
break
thing-
it.
right.
But is it a bad thing that a parent is excited for her son to try
Hell
something?
no.
I never
Hell
understood
no.
that.
Hell no.
And the
Hell
thing
no.
is, how do you be mad when you didn't even try to
Right.
attempt
So
to extend your hand?
why I can agree with y'all because I have parents this year who did their homework,
Yeah.
who sat down and had conversation with me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for a parent to choose a team
Yeah.
after they did their due diligence, do their homework, ask around, call other coaches, whatever it may be,
Yeah.
how can you be mad at the parent?
But honestly,
Because the coach, I didn't give nobody a 52 fake out.
Yeah.
I didn't lie to a parent. You know what I'm saying? So for a parent to go through all those steps and then finally come to an agreement as a family and then put it on social media, how can you be mad?
But I'm gonna be honest. Now, I'm gonna tell you what's happening now, 2023. The kids are recruiting each other. We don't have to do as much as we used to do. The kids are teaming up. Like, I want to play with my friend. So now you have to step your game up as a coach. If you want that player, you have to show them something different. And now, all the ones that talk about, oh, y'all were recruiting, those are the ones that don't win.
He said, "Oh, never recruited."
Yeah,
her.
hell no.
Stop lying. Ty.
Nah, Ty, don't listen to that
Ty,
motherfucker.
come on, Ty, stop it.
Yeah, listen,
Ty.
you can ask every
Ty.
parent.
Ty messaged me and said, "Hey man, what do you think about Woodbury?" I said, "Man, fuck Woodbury."
Just like that.
And he ain't lying.
He said,
Just
"What do you
like
think?
that.
What do you think about Coach O?" Trash.
Basuda.
Basura.
What the boy? What's his name? Trash.
You sure already know. But that's it. I want to say so much, but I can't. But I'm gonna be honest with you.
But you
Nah,
mean you
say
can't?
it, man.
Because hold on. The reason why
Isaac, we are not being politically correct.
We're not being
here.
politically correct, man. We've been politically
Only-
correct for
only
the whole
because,
show.
man,
Now,
like,
now it's time to turn up. You need a cup?
of what?
I don't know, man. O started me off with a cup today.
I'm being honest. The ones that complain, because these are ones, bro. Ask them when the last time. Ask them when the last time. When I joined Isaac, they talked about me for how long?
Yeah.
I know Isaac wanted to say, bro, you know what? Never mind, bro. I know in his head, look, that's annoying, bro. Every morning it's a mic.
So, see.
What happened?
And so, Corey, so you talking about Woodbury 14U?
What he said? You have to watch the people you are going to follow down the road.
Oh wow.
Glassboro parents. No, it's cool. It's cool.
You know, Corey and Miguel is the only two people that had nothing positive to say.
Of course.
is you always gonna have at least two,
Two,
three
that's
fine.
haters.
That's
on
cool.
the-
That's
on
cool
the-
with me.
But how you feel about
But
that?
you can
though?
see when somebody he eating a
Me?
banana right now, like I don't like this shit.
Nah, I don't like
Him
this
Miguel,
shit.
him Miguel right now, motherfucker.
But how you feel about that? Like when you get backlash like that?
That shit don't move me
Yeah.
because I got a goal, and I set out to be responsible to help these kids get better on my level, and nobody else can move me to that goal. I'm gonna do it regardless.
Yeah.
See, what people don't realize is, got a stacked team this year. Bro, my last 2 years, we were struggling. So I've been through the mud.
Yeah.
So you can't say the only way he's doing this is just because of this team. No, I had to coach kids who didn't even know football at the senior level.
That's real coaching though.
You get what I'm saying?
That's dedication. You know what I
I
mean? Stay
got
dedicated.
a kid right now that his first year on the senior level 2 years ago didn't know football. Last year, if they kept stats, I guarantee you he would have been on defensive player of the year, a candidate, because the coaching, we was nonstop with him. And I only had 3 coaches. It was only 3 of us for 2 years. Now we got 8 coaches, guys who understand football, and we all dedicated. And if there's haters out there, then so fucking be it.
I mean, at
He
the end of the
said,
day, like,
he said, watch the Glass Bro talk. That's the wrong tree to Barker. Did anybody
Listen,
say anything
man,
about Glass
I
Bro?
just said
Nah.
that's a
he
Glassboro
wants,
parent.
he wants
wants
somebody
to
to
be
talk
trash.
about.
Yeah.
but
What's
what-
up with these dudes that get on here? If y'all don't want to,
Not even in our league though. That's the crazy part.
I don't know what's up.
Oh,
with
they in
these
the
dudes,
NAS.
man.
I
It be
forgot
the
they in
word.
the
They in the AYF league.
Kitty, fuck, do, fucking.
No, not them. Not them. They're in the
That's
AYF.
Monroe.
Man, give me the horns, man. Bitch ass niggas. Let's give it up for Glass, bro. Running international this year. Hey, so how do y'all feel about the amount of coaches you're allowed to have on the staff? Do you think 8 coaches is enough?
I think 8 is perfect.
You think 8 is good? You think about Monroe. Did you hear Monroe got 72 kids on their junior team?
Yes, and they got 22 dads and coaches.
You only allowed to have 8 coaches. How can 8 coaches? How can 8 coaches coach 72 kids?
Damn.
That's a lot of kids.
Like what do you do?
You first thought about how many you can handle
Yeah, but they're not gonna turn any kid away.
because you can't.
Yeah, but this ain't tryouts. Tri-County is about tryouts.
I was about to ask.
You can't.
You can't.
I mean, you can.
Back in the day,
Hold,
remember?
hold,
Yo,
hold,
times
hold.
is different.
Hold,
Times
here's
is
the
different.
only thing. You can have tryouts,
Right.
right? But the only thing about tryouts is every kid that lives in your town has to.
It has to be on your
Taxes,
team, right?
Because they put the parent pay
Yep.
taxes.
Because the second you cut a kid from your team and you got a kid from Woodbury in your team, they go to the
Okay.
township.
Okay.
They go to
Yeah.
the township.
You screwed.
You're done.
Yep.
You can't cut a kid from your township.
So
Right,
why did we
right.
think of that back in the day? All them laps I ran for no reason. Damn. Could have cut me. I want to win.
72
You are-
kids, bro.
That's a lot.
UIFL has a max on your varsity roster, so
Right.
your kids can be registered as varsity. So in Tri-County, when you turn in your UIFL roster, it'd be your varsity roster.
Basically.
So in Tri-County, we have varsity rosters, and JV rosters are separate.
Right.
So if you
So we
have
don't have to turn
if you
in.
have 2 separate JV teams, you have to turn in 2
Right.
separate.
But some of those
separate
JV
rosters.
kids are on your varsity roster. So do you put them on?
No.
No, you have a varsity roster,
Yeah,
bro.
that's it.
That's your varsity roster.
No,
you only allowed to.
Oh,
have,
this
you-
year.
This year you only have to have 11.
Okay. I got you.
So this year, we changed the rule that you only have to have 11, because you only have to have 11 kids.
Parents.
You only have to have 11 kids on your varsity roster for registration.
Right.
Like that.
Everybody else can be JV.
Right.
Which I think that's going to help, because last year it was like some teams literally had 11 varsity kids.
Yep.
And that 12th kid was such a drop off. And what they made us have, like 15
15.
last year,
Mm-hmm.
varsity kids. So if 2 of these kids that you have to force to put on varsity roster not get any varsity playing time, can't play in the JV
Right.
game.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel as though you get your 11 kids,
Studs.
Yeah, 11 studs, make them varsity. Everybody else is eligible to play JV.
Right. Okay,
like that.
understood.
I always did.
Yeah,
Like
that was because last year.
Terrence said, "Here we go,
I know.
I always said y'all had 72 kids, bro. God damn.
That's a
how
lot.
you feel about how the league is evolving?
I
As a
I
whole.
like it. I like the steps that we going further. That's pushing us further. I just think that we got to make those next year. You know what I'm saying? We got to make those extra strides to figure out what we going to do. If we national, we can't stay with the rec rules. And
Yeah,
I know a lot of people be like,
that's the only thing I think.
that's one thing Cotty we keep saying. We're not D1, we D2. D2 teams follow waivers out of districts. Not all. No, that's not true. Some D2 teams have leagues where they do have to follow the
Yes.
same rules we do. But then there's some that don't.
Don't.
Right.
Right?
Them
And so
Atlanta
when-
dudes, they do not have waivers.
bro, and
Dude said it.
when I spoke to the Dark Knights head coach today, and I was like, y'all don't have to, they was D1, they were basically considered D1 throughout the whole year. When I talked to him, he was like, yeah, we went to the tournament, whatever he said out, whatever happened that they wound up going D2
Right.
and playing D2, you know what I mean? And then they wound up winning it. But they didn't have no waivers or out of district. So if there's a chance that I can play a team that doesn't have to deal with waivers or out of districts, I don't want to deal with it.
Right.
Point blank, period.
You
I don't
you had a
care who.
disadvantage.
I don't care who else
On the
got to deal with it. That don't got
Right.
nothing to do with me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? I don't want to have to deal with it, and
I
I,
think
and I
they're
don't think
okay
I'm,
with
I don't think I'm wrong for feeling that
We
way.
cater to the little programs that's not up there. And I think
Right.
that's wrong to do. We need to put them in the I think, it's my opinion. I think national. Everybody's in the national division. That's the NFC. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they are the one that should be having the waivers and out of districts because they're not going to Florida if they win a championship.
They
No,
are.
no, they are.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
Who
They
said
told us
that?
today. Frank just said it on the meter.
They can choose not to go.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right.
They
I
can
don't
choose
see
not
why
to
they.
go.
I don't see why
if you're
they
gonna
want to
do
go.
that, they should come up and play in the American third seed.
Yep.
I'm not. Listen.
No,
I asked the question in the meeting today, right? We haven't in these meetings. We haven't touched on
Fully
anything.
addressed it,
We
yeah.
haven't addressed nationals at all. Only thing that we addressed with nationals was to make sure you have your roster in by a certain time. So I just asked the question where, what are we doing? D1? Are we doing D2? Like we haven't spoke on it. He said we don't have to declare D1 or D2 until after we figure out who wins, and then they can. And so we win. Frank said he could call me, Isaac. All right, what you want to do? You want to go D1 or D? Of course, I'm not going to say I want to go D1.
Of course.
With the restrictions and
Yeah.
everything
Right,
that we
right.
the way we're built.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was like, but any team that wins their championship, national or American, has the opportunity to go. Doesn't have to go, has the opportunity to go. They're going to talk to you, ask you where you want to go. My thing is, if I win and just say Woodstown wins, and Woodstown say, I want to go D2, and I say, I'm going to go D2, we go down Florida, play each other in the first round. We go way down Florida to play each other, and we can handle that.
Handle that right there.
Right
Right in
here.
our
We could go
backyard.
back to
Why?
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The winner of national come in an American third seed, and you play.
Maybe that make too much sense. I don't
Because
know.
if you send
Why?
them to national and get blown out 80-0, we look bad. And
We
I'm
look
gonna be
bad.
mad.
Why are we sending two teams in the same level at the same? If we both want to go D2, we both dealing with waivers and out of districts. We both going D2. Why won't we play here and figure out who
Yeah.
goes?
Right.
You have a two-team.
That's even if the other team wants to go. You feel me?
Yep.
So why are we playing?
Why would we not play here?
My thing is, why we're working hard, fighting playoffs teams every week, and they're down. And some of these teams are going down there because they know they can go to Florida if they're going to just win it. No, get up here, play us, and we gotta play every week hard games so they can get down there and play them team that's not good enough to be in the American and go to Florida.
So the question is like he's saying not having waivers will funnel. Listen, I said this years ago. Maybe it was just last year. We were in the meeting. Somebody proposed to get rid of the waivers, right? Pittman coach spoke and said, "This will absolutely ruin our organization." You can't field the fucking teams. We stay with the waivers, and they still can't field the fucking team.
We
Yeah.
only had a 7U team.
Right? So, and the 7U team was like 5-year-olds, bro. The
Yes.
games were so bad that they couldn't barely finish the games, right? That has nothing to do with waivers. Whether or not we have waivers, we already have unlimited waivers.
Right.
And 80% of the coaches don't have problems with signing the waivers, right? So having waivers is not going to stop a kid from leaving your organization.
all.
It's not. No kid or no parent is going to say, you know what, I can't leave Defford because they're not going to sign the waiver, or I'm not going to leave. If the parents and the kid want to leave, they're going to leave,
Regardless.
and they're going to ask you for the waiver, and most times the waiver gets signed.
It's going to get signed.
Not only thing is, it's just the hassle of the waivers,
Right.
of the coaches having to worry about the waivers and all that bullshit.
But how we did it back in the day was, if
Got another question.
If you received the waiver, you have to sign the waiver.
Mm-hmm.
That made it way easier. Because if you don't want to sign a waiver, don't get none.
Right. They did the back and forth. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
Yeah, he says UIFL doesn't have waivers in our districts, but UIFL doesn't have it. But like how we're in Tri-County, other teams could be in leagues that require them to have the same rules that we have. You know, so it could just be any other team. It could be a team in Florida who is in a league that where they're built like ours. So UIFL itself don't have the rules, but they can abide by their same type of
Right.
rules that we abide by.
Corey says, if it's all travel ball, D1 or D2, how much more difficult it can be?
Meaning what?
I guess he's trying to determine
difference.
why are we separating them? Is it that
D1
much
is
of
like
it?
an all-star team.
Okay. See, I don't know nothing about the
D2 is like what we're doing right now.
okay, but we're still hindering ourselves.
Yeah, D1 have no out-of-districts, no waivers, no nothing.
Neither does D2.
Neither does
A
D2.
lot of D2 teams don't have it, and that's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Like,
But D1, you saying D1, you're not going to hear it at all. D2,
You're not- you're not-
D2 is a possibility.
Okay,
All right.
I got you.
That's
I
what
got
I'm
you.
saying. Yeah, I answered that.
Got you.
And when, like, that's why I'm saying, like, we're here and we're here. If we're gonna go national all the way,
What's all the way to you, Mike?
all the way
What's
to
all the
do
way?
exactly what they're doing. I want to do Atlanta doing. Georgia, yep, I want to do what they're doing. But
I got a question.
You got Connecticut.
You gonna fly
not doing it.
You gonna fly the kids out? I'm just asking
Who flying the kids?
because you just said
Mike
you gonna
got
do
the
what they
money.
doing.
Mike going to rob the Brinks truck that he driving. He got the money. I told you, pour that motherfucker out the
Yeah,
house, bro.
listen, I'm telling you, if we are able to go to Florida, you know what I mean? Like, I think we have a really good chance. Shout out to, you know what I mean?
So going to Florida and we watched those national games this past weekend, right? What do you think is the biggest difference from? I don't want to say size because that was evident with that one team, City Life. They was huge. But what's the biggest difference that we were watching? You were there live. You was on live watching. I was watching too. What's the biggest difference you see with our style of play and them?
You have a 20-minute running clock.
Okay.
All the adjustments had to be made on the dot.
Well, that's like a preseason game. All their games aren't 20 minutes running
I'm
clocks.
talking about
right?
in that segment. In
Oh,
that-
okay,
that
you talking about
environment
one.
there, yeah.
Okay.
you know what I mean? So, and by as yourself experiencing playing out of state, the rules are different.
Very different.
And you have
Very
to
different.
be accustomed to changing everything.
Yep.
Like if that two plays didn't work, that driver didn't work, I gotta go right to something different the next.
Right, right.
You have to feel the vibe of playing somebody you've never seen before. You can't look at the team. You can't read up on them. Cause we tried.
You're right.
We try to look up the team and try to find it that night before.
Just
so
to
we can go out
see,
there.
just to see,
It's totally
right?
different, bro.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I that will kill me is
'Cause you
even though
student, dog.
because if I'm playing the team, I'm so used to playing the team and preparing for a team for an entire week and watching film and having film on them. That's the only thing that, like, you know, playing in one of these tournaments, being it, but I can coach on the fly as well.
Right.
I can adjust on the fly. I can make halftime adjustments. But playing in tournaments of teams, you don't know who you're going to play. It's
Right.
a ton of teams. You got to rely on your talent and your preparation of your team in general.
Throughout
of
the
your,
week, yep.
Your
Yep.
team being a well-oiled machine. That's one thing I notice about these national teams is they don't have that time to prepare for a team. And I think that's more realistic football on our end, that in reality, when you go to high school, you go to college, you're going to prepare for a team every week.
Every week.
So I think that could be a big difference. I'm not just saying that's not how it is all the time, national, because sometimes you do know, you got your schedule, so you do know who you're going to play. You can prepare,
right.
and you can prepare because they have their schedule, so they know who they're going to play each week. But I'm talking about when you get to those tournaments, and for us,
And that bracket
and
comes
for
out,
us, it's
right.
going to be us for teams that we've never seen before because it's new to us. So we don't know what these teams got. We don't know who their best player is. We're not going to know anything, and vice versa. They're not going to know anything about us, and they
Right.
might take us for granted. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
when it comes to those tournament plays, it's hard. You can't prepare for
How
it.
did you know
I
who was
didn't-
who?
Huh?
How did you know?
You got to
who
go
was
on the
who?
fly. You got to go on the fly.
I'm talking about like have you played out of state before?
No.
No, for real, no.
No.
When you played out of state and you went against them, how do you know who was who?
What do you mean?
The best player on the team. How long did it take you?
Whoever the fuck they get a ball to first play.
Where that first play go? If they throw a 9 route, you know that receiver's the one.
Yeah, they gave the ball to number one first player. That's their best player
listen,
9 times out of 10.
To last 2 years, I mentioned I only had 3 coaches, so it was hard for me to get
For
film
real?
on other teams, right?
3 coaches.
3 coaches
On the staff.
on the staff. It was hard for me to get film.
On the 14U?
Yeah. So last year, if I couldn't get film on the team, I had to figure them out by the first drive. So the watching those national
You didn't
games,
scout?
sometimes I couldn't make it. My other coaches had to work. It was hard. It was hard for us. It was hard.
Okay.
Sometimes I paid a guy to
So
give
you
us
only had
film
3 coaches last year?
for 2 years.
Well, you
That's
gotta go out
hard.
and get you some coaches.
No,
some
I got
dads,
8 now.
man.
I got 8 now.
Yeah, they about to say
I got 8
fuck
now. We loaded.
Denver might win
well,
this
when
year.
when I started at Denver, those dudes walking, I'm like, yo, my son, you know, I'm like, yep,
Yep, get on.
They're like, yep.
Nah, I got a
I
good
don't know
staff.
nobody. I had Stevie ain't like, this my boy baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Everybody,
right.
You mind if I? Yep. You mind? Yep. You ain't got to finish the conversation.
What hindered me was I got a lot of backlash for stuff that wasn't even true. So I was stained.
Oh, okay.
My name was stained, and I didn't even know these people fully. You know what I mean? Remember, I'm from Camden. I just moved out here a few years ago. So for Q to leave and say we're not looking for another coach, I'm gonna hand it over to O, because I believe in him. A lot of people ain't like that.
Oh, wow.
So nobody really wanted to
He
be
left
around me.
big shoes.
Yo, dog.
He left big shoes.
But let me tell you something. But because of who I am, that shit don't scare me.
Yeah.
And because I know it was going to be a struggle at first, I embraced it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm still here now, because can't nobody run me out of town. I don't care who you are, what you think you know. The team I got now, listen, that's by God's grace, because I ain't go out recruit nobody. I was trying to figure out how I'm gonna build a team this year, but I never gave up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That's all the grind, man. The work,
Yeah,
the hard work,
hard
and the
work,
grind.
bro.
You know, one thing is the dedication pays off, man. You know, shit don't come easy, and that's what a lot of these coaches and kids, they want shit just to come easy. Sometimes you gotta go through those grind and those struggle years.
Yep.
You know, to make it to where you want to go. Now you got your team, you got a pretty good squad set, and now it's all about just making sure they prepared.
Facts. Week
You
in
know,
and week out.
Like we talked on live a couple weeks ago, maybe last week, and we were going over the games, and we spoke about y'all game versus Monroe. And I gave my honest opinion about it. I said it's going to be if O can have those kids prepared week 1 because it's a new team.
Right.
A lot of those kids played together before, but they never played together with you.
Right.
And then this team has never been together.
Facts.
So the main thing is, are you going to have those kids ready week 1, ready to go, because y'all don't have any warm up games. Y'all coming right out.
So we are
with
working
another top-notch
on
team.
I agree with that.
we
I
are
ain't
working
thinking about
on playing a good program.
Yeah.
Until it's confirmed, then I'll put it out there.
Okay.
I agree.
So and I agree
really wanna
with
hear
him
that.
too.
I really wanna hear that.
So my thing is, I'm gonna talk my shit
As you should.
as I should, but I know how to check my ego.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've been through one.
It's a scammer in the comments.
I
bro.
know. I
What is-
saw that. What the hell?
What the fuck?
It
is
says follow, so I don't know how they jumped on.
Bro, they got somebody from Pakistan.
Yo, dog, that looks scary. I'm scared to translate it. but having them prepared. Listen, I even got my program has a Huddle account
Okay.
because the high school is going to have Huddle account. So we're already preparing with film on how high school coaches are preparing. I'm clocking their film study time. If you're not preparing yourself out of the football field, off the football field, then you ain't gonna be prepared to play on Saturday or Sunday.
That's true.
So I got things in plan, and I completely understand that week one matchup. I got to be prepared,
That's gonna be different, bro.
and I'm embracing it. I'm
And
not.
the atmosphere.
Monroe
bro.
said they're gonna beat y'all last. when
Yeah,
I talked
yeah.
to
Yo,
we'll see.
yo, the atmosphere to that game.
See, Monroe keep talking about one thing, and one thing only, and that shit doesn't scare me as a coach.
Yeah, they said they're gonna beat y'all ass. I talked to them.
That's
personally.
good. That's good. I hope you talk to him bad on the beach too.
Yeah,
That's
they
what you was
said-
talking to him.
Yeah,
Yeah, they said
Ali.
they said they're gonna beat the brakes off y'all.
But I'm saying though, I'm being honest, yo, like
I love it though.
you played in I can say your last 2 years you played in some great atmospheres,
Oh yeah, but this is
but this is gonna be a little
yeah.
different.
I love it.
But hold up, is that Monroe?
I know it's home.
Oh, Sam Woodbury. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, there's a,
It's
oh,
gonna be
Oh.
can we get the fucking game moved, bro? Like why
It's
y'all
7 o'clock?
why y'all
Bro,
staying quiet
listen,
about
I
it?
have no idea.
You're home. You can say
No,
it.
no, no. Listen, I don't have no idea why the games were moved to 5.
Bro, who's the president?
Jimmy Jam.
Well, tell Jimmy Jan to move the game.
Yeah.
Tell them. to move the game.
So we have that option.
John,
Oh,
you're
I
home.
didn't know
Hell
that.
yeah.
Come on, bro.
So
This is my last
I don't have to
podcast.
touch.
so y'all motherfucking-
So I don't have to touch the other games.
yeah. Everybody can just be
1,
moved
3,
up.
5, 7.
Move y'all can move the whole
thing
Whole
up.
up.
'Cause you have lights. You can
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they,
yeah,
So
yeah.
they put our shit in wrong for our home games.
Okay.
Because normally I don't know why, but our home games is later. Our senior games, our shit in that 7.
Cardi, delete this.
So
What's up, Cardi?
so our president seen what they had on our schedule. All he did was make one phone call to Frank like, "Yo, our games are 1,
We're
3,
wrong.
5, 7."
Okay.
They're like, "All right, cool." So at least for week 1, tell them like, "Yo, look, week 1 we need to join 1, 3, 5, 7, so I can be able to go from Whitman Park, watch.
Oh, it's to benefit y'all. Oh,
Yeah,
I got you. I
watch-
got you.
Us
Watch-
as fans, as
watch-
commentators, we want to see this. This is big.
Watch Bridgeton punch on Whitman.
Yeah, we definitely going there first.
Yeah, watch Bridgeton punch on Whitman,
Draw.
and then
Gotcha.
and then come on back.
Nah, we'll put
That
the we'll
is
put
the
the
highlight of the
right,
whole day.
right.
Because we're going, we're literally going to leave there and we're coming straight to Woodbury.
B Max said, "Don't do that, bro. We're gonna beat y'all ass."
Don't. We're gonna rock out.
Like he didn't see it.
Yeah,
Yo, for real though, being honest.
Yo, bro, we already know that.
Yeah, I'm an instigator,
I already
bro.
know
I'm the
that.
type of person when motherfuckers grade fight, I push them into
Yo,
each other.
go ahead, man.
That's so high school.
Yo, listen. Yo, I read his
Nigga, back it
comment.
up.
Yo, I read his comment. I gave him a fist, right? Like, yeah, we're gonna rock out. He gonna read it like 5 seconds later and say something completely different.
Nah, he just
Fuck
swung
out
on
of
you.
here.
Yeah.
You see?
Nah, for real, bro. Everybody want to see that game.
That game
and
is big.
If y'all don't move that game to 7, it's going. Y'all gonna make people have to pick
Yeah,
and choose.
because like we're going to probably have to
Like
stay
that.
half the
Go
game,
to
then
Whitman,
leave, then come
you
over
know
there
what
and
I
stay
mean?
the second half.
Yo,
We shouldn't have to do that.
Yo, fellas, I said I was going.
Respectfully,
Come
because
on,
we
man.
want to be able to cover
But
the
you
game.
heard us asking for this weeks ago.
Yo,
man.
I didn't, but I didn't know you
I'm
can
gonna
do
call
that.
Frank. I'm
I
gonna
didn't know
call
you
Frank
could do that.
myself. and be like,
All
yo,
home
I'm
games.
like, yo, this is Orlando.
You do got that deep ass voice.
Yo, but y'all gonna have to take it up with my wife. Remember, she run all that shit.
That's what she said.
I'll tell her. I'll tell her.
I do a game for
She
free.
said- she
I do a
said-
game for free.
Yo, she said as long as y'all help out at the last game, after the game,
what I
we
gotta
can
do.
change.
I ain't helping out shit. That's going. Ho, y'all move the games back. That's gonna help y'all line them fucking fields. Bro. Y'all,
Oh my God,
y'all
bro.
them games too early. Yo, these niggas
Yo.
is out there lining
Yo.
the field,
Oh,
bro.
no, heck
Yo,
no.
we was out
Bro.
there
Yo,
stretching.
that is
the way-
true, though,
bro.
bro.
We
Y'all
out
gotta
there
line them
stretching,
fields, bro.
We out there stretching. These motherfuckers out there with spray paint. The motherfucking line in the fucking fields, bro. This shit's all squiggly
Oh,
lines.
you have
bro,
to get that
motherfucker.
together,
Yo,
bro. Y'all have
we
to get
had
that
one
together,
game
bro.
last year, the Sterling game, and if Jimmy Jam you on this motherfucker, that was your fault because I couldn't do it that Friday,
But how y'all have the city do it?
huh? So we're in a battle with the city. So every January they come out and redo the field, get it right for the spring.
Seated and all that.
They ain't do nothing.
So
So
what's their reasoning behind it?
well, so we went to them. They said, "Well, we're gonna flip the field next year. I said, well, what about this year? Like, that shit don't make sense. They gave us a run around. So I said, you know what? Me and one of my coaches, he got some connects. We're gonna do it ourselves. We just want y'all to provide us with the topsoil, because you gotta get it by cubic yards.
Yeah.
So we happened to run into somebody who works in the city at a soccer game, and she didn't know nothing about that. They didn't touch our field. According to her, come January, it's supposed to be done. So now we found out that they used to line our field.
Yes.
They said they were going to touch our field, like do something to our field after we had a Juneteenth event out here. They still haven't been out there, and our field is fucked up. And it's not even the city; it's Public Works.
Y'all hear that, Monroe? They feel fucked up. You ever put some extra long cleats on the bottom?
We'll have it ready. We'll have it ready,
But
painted and all.
But that
Bro, if y'all feel they ain't painting week 1, bro. I'm
No,
telling you right
we
now.
got the machine to paint it, but we try and get them to do it, bro. That shit time consuming,
But that
bro.
game has so many
So I was thinking about
ways
that.
to
I w-
if you lose that game.
But I was thinking about that. How does that hurt us? Either or. So either or, we take the loss, but we dominate the rest of our conference.
It won't hurt y'all at all.
Well, then, that's what I'm saying.
Well, it won't hurt y'all because at the end of the day,
Who
y'all
else
most
nice?
like if y'all lose, it won't really. Only thing that it will hurt y'all, I would think
If y'all
it
lose
was
again.
if y'all lose that game, whoever loses that game was going to have to play probably the third best team in the playoffs.
Got you.
It's going to have the
Right,
tougher
right.
playoff route because the number one seed in the playoff is only that.
It's not true. Because Q's last year coaching, we were the number 1 seed, and they gave us the number 2 bracket. They put Kingsway ahead of us. They got to play the national team and some butt-ass team to go in the playoffs.
And
Yeah,
y'all
well,
played
it's
Millville.
different.
And we played Millville the second round.
It's
and they beat
different.
us
It's
last
different
possession.
system now,
Right,
bro.
and I'm
different-
hoping for
it's a
that.
different
all my
system
money
now.
back. That first game, I lost like 500 out that joint.
So, speaking of Millville, my first game ever watching
It's a dog fight.
out there in Woodbury was, the whole hill was,
Oh no, it was all of us.
that was
It was all
that
in
was
the
a-
back.
and that was an
Well,
atmosphere.
They said, "What's the rule on submitting?" I don't know the rule on submitting the All-Star roster, but I
You
think
can, though.
I think
They
whoever-
said you
I
can.
think you can.
Yeah.
They have an All-Star bracket. I think we should definitely send an All-Star team out there every level for whatever team that don't go.
National.
I mean, whatever team that goes, the rest of the team
You stay
send the
back.
All-Star bracket out
That'd be
there.
dope.
I think we should get
I think
like a
that'd be
little
dope.
kid, get a
That'd be
little
dope.
committee, figure it out who to take. But I don't. Hey, once again, people hate me all the time. Ain't no three kids per team come. No,
Best of the best.
you know what I'm saying.
So
That's a tryout.
Isaac
That's
just
it.
saying Defford's going, and then they gonna add kids.
No.
No, I'm
I'm
just fucking with
saying.
you.
I'm saying if Deffer got 6 All-Stars and this other team got 1, that's it. That's just what it is.
Right.
I don't like the
like the
All-Star
extra.
and all right, we
Don't
put an
extra.
All-Star team together. Everybody send 2 skilled guys
Yeah.
in the line.
Yeah.
No,
Can't move.
that's not an All-Star team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I coached All-Stars before in the past,
They
and
send anything.
it was like, man, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? Like these kids are not getting a 3-point stance.
If my
You know what I'm
team
saying?
is-
Everybody don't have
If
3
everybody on my
All-Stars.
team is, if the linemen are the best
The
of my team, I'm
dogs, they
sending
going.
all of the
Facts.
linemen. Like I'm gonna
Facts.
let you be successful. A lot of people don't care because like they know that one team got all the skilled players. No, I'm sending the line.
Yep. I agree with that.
I always hated that All-Star stuff because there's always a kid on your team that gets.
shit.
I remember
short end
I
of the
remember the
stick.
one year Greg Mack, damn, it's fucking wire on my foot. Greg Mack had a crazy senior squad.
Oh,
Debo and all them, and he was like, I'm not sending none of my kids to the All-Star because he couldn't just pick 3 kids to
Right.
go on the All-Star team. So
He wanted to keep
he
it fair for them.
his team scrimmaged the All-Star
and
team.
destroy. I can only
His
imagine.
team went and scrimmaged the All-Star team, bro. Like he had a good squad. We actually played them in that Battle of the Champions and they beat us.
Okay.
They beat us that
Where did
that
he-
year at
where
Paul.
did he- where did
I
he
was
coach?
at Paulsboro. He was at
Pennsgrove.
Pennsgrove.
Pensgrove.
I was at Paulsboro. We played at Pennsgrove, and they beat us.
Damn. Pensgrove. You just brought back memories of last year, bro.
that's some words in Pittsburgh,
That we played them in that monsoon weather,
bro.
and them boys was huge,
There's
bro.
2 lights out there, bro.
Yo, dog, the lines was this thin, and they was like,
Shout out to Kim, John.
Oh, speaking of John,
nah, come on, man.
speaking of John, this nigga O got a fucking shitter doodle upstairs. This nigga ain't tell nobody. You see a shitter doodle
I
upstairs?
definitely seen it.
Yo.
Right up my leg. I'm like, whoa.
Yo, I said, let me find out you got a fucking shitter
Yo,
doodle,
listen,
bro.
that's my daughter's dog, number one.
Nah, this nigga very big.
I don't
No,
drive a
no.
Mini Cooper. I got a nice
Anything-
big truck.
Anything that was bigger than that, I wasn't coming in, dog.
Bro, I
Yo, he
want
stopped.
this nigga got a shitter doodle, man.
Yo, anything that was bigger than that, I wasn't coming in. You would have lost me. I don't do dogs.
Nah, you good, bro. Well, gentlemen, it's been 2 hours.
Good work.
We ain't start at 8 o'clock.
Oh yeah, well you know what? You right.
8:35.
That's you.
We started at 8:35.
that's
I was
your
late.
fault.
I had a coach's meeting, and then there was some. You know what I mean? Isaac, man, crazy, bro.
I ain't say nothing, bro. Like all I know is
This season gonna be so interesting, bro.
this is gonna be real. Hey, Defford 10U,
telling
man.
you,
They looking like a force to be reckoned with, man.
I can't
I
wait
hate.
to-
I'm not trying to
I'm
just
about to
say it
tell
because
you.
it's Defford, but they looking like a force to be reckoned with, man. It's gonna be very interesting this year. I wish our crossover game was Salem. That would have been very interesting.
Yeah,
swear to God.
that'd have been dope.
That would be
Yo,
very
I kid you not.
That'd have been
Last
dope.
year they went 10-1. They had an amazing season, in my opinion. You know,
Who they
this-
lose to?
Salem.
lost to
and-
Salem.
Oh, you talking about
championship.
Defford?
Yeah.
Defford. Okay.
10
I
year,
got you.
9 year. And this year, I think it's gonna be just a better remix. That's all. Like, I think they're gonna have the same success. Shout out to Stevie. Me and Stevie did an awesome job. Nobody expected that.
Right,
Just being
right.
honest. Nobody expected that because RV gave them a hell of a game. We watched that because we was waiting forever to get on the field.
Hey, B Max,
Hey.
don't be talking about my dog, bro.
Hey.
She family, dog.
let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all some hating shit though. So we was talking about. Remember we were talking about the other day about the Defford and the RV game.
Yeah.
We were saying like a couple mistakes or a couple calls going a different way, and the game could have ended differently. And you got hating people calling Stevie like Isaac on the live talking about y'all should have lost the game. Now Stevie texting me like, damn, cuz.
Word. I think that word.
It probably wasn't nobody but Lex hating us. But he like that cuz you said Ricky made me retire. I was like, yeah, I did, bro. I was just talking shit. Like you know what I'm saying? It's all
I
love.
just think that like what he did last year, bro. Nobody expected that, even myself.
They did a great
They did a
job. The whole
great
staff,
job.
the whole
Right,
staff
the
did a
whole
great
staff. Shout out
job.
to
But I don't like that. I don't
Did you
like that
expect
corny
that?
shit. I expected it because I know what Stevie was capable of. What was capable of. I knew the coaches that he brought on. I know bringing Jeff on was big for the team.
You know
And,
football.
Warren and Swells came over. Swells was Swell. She said, "Yep, it sure was me." I know. I already knew it was Lex, bro. I knew it was Lex. The way Stevie texted me about it, it was like he was serious. Like, damn, cuz you were talking shit on me. Like, it wasn't nobody but a female had to relay that. You feel me? But I was like, nah, you know what I mean? But that wasn't expected of them last year. They was definitely, you know what I mean? They were definitely underdogs for most of the year. Nobody knew what they were going to have that season. We knew, but everybody else didn't. But with the additions of their team
To this year.
to this year, of that team
Jeez
and the coaching staff, Mike better call these damn plays. You know what I'm saying? Mike, this ain't 47U, bro.
I
This
just feel
ain't the
as-
Cobras,
I
dog.
just
You know what I'm saying?
But can we be honest though? I mean, all jokes aside, not counting last year. All just being honest.
You bring up your
He
championship.
said, let's
2000?
let's end the live
Yeah,
by
that's
saying
okay.
fuck them. But y'all should have
So
seen.
Rasul-
Hold on, y'all should have seen Rasul out there
Rasul.
battle the beach. Yo, Rasul's out there battle the beach reffing, getting paid. He don't know nothing about no fucking flag football rules.
I bet he ain't no one flag.
This nigga out there smiling, nigga walking. I see nigga on the board, got his ice cream and shit. I said, this nigga don't know nothing about no
Nothing.
fucking flag,
He
fucking
ain't thrown
football.
out one
bro.
flag.
Bro, I said this nigga ain't had no motherfucking widow shoes or none niggas out there with them black motherfucking ref shoes on.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest. Since 2017, since 2017, to 2021, I won the championship. Won 4 out of 5.
Well, you just got threatened, dog. You got one chance.
I get the one chance. Fuck up, he getting fired. Listen, I've been
Bro.
threatened before. Nigga, yo, the hardest place to coach is in Millville. Y'all know that? That's the hardest place to coach at. Ever.
The
Ever.
hardest.
The hardest place to coach at.
He said made some good money.
Yo, you lose
I
a game,
bet.
yo, bro, they be ready to get you out of there.
One game.
I swear to God.
Shit, man, I won 3 straight championships in Paulsboro. They was ready to get me out of
I
there.
swear. I'm
Fuck
telling
losing,
you.
fuck losing
Bro,
a game.
I lost the championship to fucking Jeff with Brooks in them. Nigga, bro.
Was it what year was that?
2018?
Well, when Q won it right after
Yeah.
the very next game.
Yeah.
In Violent.
Yeah. 6-12.
Yeah.
I lost 6-12.
Yeah.
Nobody never blew me
That's
out.
because they said you had Brooks playing tight end.
Hell, no. They had him playing tight end the whole time until I got there. I said, yo, he got all this speed, but like, make him a wide receiver. He hate running back. He hates it.
He don't even want to get hit.
God damn.
No, he don't like running back.
No,
He
he
like
ain't a running
wide
back.
receiver. That's it.
That's it. Keep me in space.
I'm mad I ain't gonna make that money. I was mad though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm low key.
You should have went down there and made that money, bro.
Yeah, I spent time with the. I mean, what I'm talking about.
You got 1 quarter. And
Dang, 1 quarter.
Then she said you got 1 quarter, bro.
She can't give me that though. It's hard for her to make those demands on me.
Lex crazy, man. Lex really went to Stevie like I was talking shit, man. Cuz called me. I said, cuz you know I'm gonna go on Facebook Live now and say,
Lex better
and
stay
say you
next to the
mad that I
fence.
said Ricky made you retire.
One-
He said, yeah, cuz if you said, they gonna say, even Isaac said Ricky made it.
And you know her, she might have recorded it and everything. Send it to
God damn, bro. I was just talking shit,
Yo,
fucking
that's one
around,
thing,
man.
bro.
I
Lex
talk
don't
shit to
play with-
everybody.
Talk about Stevie? Oh yeah, it's over. You ain't gotta worry about it. Text coming in 5 minutes.
Bro, yeah, niggas should know me by now, bro. I say whatever the
Facts.
fuck I want to say. I don't give a fuck.
It's even funnier.
And because I say it to you.
But it's funnier when you're drunk.
Yeah, like I say whatever the fuck I want.
You talking about Jordan first show? He was
Oh,
asking for a beat.
Yo, you got the mic and shit, the headphones. You see how that shit
I
sound?
thought you were in the studio.
But then when the instrumental was on, shit.
That's funny, man.
But I'm looking forward to this season, man. The season gonna be very interesting. It's
Right.
gonna be like, my question is, some of the teams you seen last year that was good, I don't think they're gonna be good this year.
I said that about Millville. Like,
Freshman,
no.
senior,
Yeah, because
No.
they were so
They're not
tough,
gonna be,
and
yes.
you didn't hear nothing from them. But I because I don't know what's going on down there. I was giving them the respect because they won on our side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But finding out that they ain't that strong, I'm kind of
based on the
disappointed.
fact that their parents now, how them colleges was flowing, they don't want to reclass nothing. Everything to the high school.
Damn.
Real rap.
That senior level is rather do.
Do fucking do.
Okay.
You gotta go out and get some.
Well,
with a team like that, you gotta get out and get a couple preseason games.
Yeah.
You gotta get a couple.
It don't matter because they're on the list.
At this point, you got Monroe and possibly Violin to see what they got after
Yeah.
that.
Georgie.
After that,
Are you prepared for Georgie?
I don't think one player with the team I got. I don't think one player can beat me.
But he's been that.
I'm not discrediting
No.
him.
I would say
Because I saw him on the junior level, right? Destroying. Last year he was on the seniors. Against Violent, we beat ourselves.
Okay.
I don't think they was so dominant. And plus, they got in a fight with our starting running back, got him ejected. So
That's big.
that was real big. Because I had the parent with the 2 cousins and stuff, the nephews, and
that
he was coaching them on the side instead of from what I was teaching. And
That's
it-
hard.
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm going to send one of the JV kids out there to start a fight.
Yo, though I think that I like the Violent coach. What's his name?
Sean.
Him.
Yeah, that's my
cool.
dude. That's my dude.
Yo, cool as hell.
That's my dude.
But that one kid, he was going after my running back. It felt like that was the plan, but I never really stuck with it because I just didn't know.
Yeah.
But he got ejected. That killed us.
Yo, Lex said, Mikey, how you feel about Quincy Harvey saying he not want to play us? I knew that already.
Listen, man,
Quincy don't want to play us right now.
Quincy gonna punch one of y'all in the face.
Keep fucking with Q.
Q, I'm telling y'all right now, bro.
Let me tell you about me.
Q going, yo, listen.
People can't say Mike
I don't know
is
what's
taking
going.
kids because I don't know no
what's
kids.
going through Q's head right now.
I don't know what.
I don't know what's going through his head right now, but
I think it's starting bad shit.
Bro, I'm not starting anything. I'm just saying. I talked to my cousin, bro. He gonna fuck somebody up.
Yo, we offered him to come on the show. He said,
I said, come on the show. He said, nah. He said, nah, because I ain't gonna be censored. I said, bro.
He feels the type of way.
Cuz ain't even get on the podcast right now. Cuz is somewhere right now punching the fucking wall.
Yo, for the record, Mike is innocent. I don't know these kids. I don't know kids. I don't recruit. I got the guys I wanted for my line. That was it. The guys, but I'm being honest, a lot of people seen what was going on.
Right.
And
man,
again, these kids
Lex
was
rubbing it
bringing
in.
kids.
Lex rubbing it in.
These kids was bringing kids. We come in practice. Oh, we got another. But this one it was big. This one is big. I'm not gonna lie to that.
Nice,
I just
B-Mac.
said, yo, was it there? I said, yeah. I just found out. He like, oh shit. Mike is innocent. That's
He
all I
said
know.
they got the skill position kids from
Mayor, you already know Mayor.
Lindenwold.
Yeah.
Monroe. So
Mayor, I owe you a mayor.
Are y'all in the y'all was in a little tug of war with a couple of those Lindenwold kids?
Yeah.
Y'all were.
So, but we don't know for sure where they going. Like nothing's been confirmed. But I don't, because of what I've been through, I don't pay that shit no mind, bro.
Right.
If you want to play for me, you gonna register. Your parents gonna register you. I'm gonna coach you. I have, and I went through that for 2 years. So that shit.
But with what you have, don't you know that's a target, right?
That's fine. That's fine with me, because my personality alone, yeah, I'm cool. I'm funny. Like I get along with a lot of people. But when you flip that switch, I know how to give that to my kids, and that shit. So them being that good is actually I enjoy that shit.
But you're gonna be the target.
That's fine. That's fine.
But it starts from Monroe.
That's fine. I'm happy it became Monroe. See, because what happened was we were in the north, right? When we first came out with the
Then Quincy
Yeah.
got mad, called Frank,
Nah, he ain't
was
get
scared.
mad. Shut up.
And then I went.
we were in the north, so for me it was like finally we don't have to travel.
A lot because everything
Right.
is yeah, okay.
So then when we got pushed back to the south, I said, you know what?
Yeah, y'all was running from us.
Yeah,
right.
definitely not.
I definitely agree with
Definitely
that.
not. And you see that definitely not, right? Like we ain't scared
Definitely
of you.
not.
God.
I'm not
Man.
scared of y'all motherfuckers.
DJ
Fuck out
such and
there. That's right. Turn it up. Turn it up.
Fuck
Fuck
Woodbury.
him
And one thing of me about saying fuck Woodbury, I've been saying that shit
Right.
all my
Yo,
life.
so quick story.
yeah.
You almost was the Woodbury coach. I'm asking.
Fuck no.
Okay.
That should never cross my
Nah?
mind. Anybody. Fuck no.
Your
Listen,
son,
listen.
if Haiti come to me and said, Dad, I want to play for Woodbury.
No, not
He
now. I
ain't
was
fucking
talking
smoking
about.
crack.
I'm talking about.
Listen. There's two places I'll never go in my life, and that's West Deptford and Woodbury.
Listen, West Deptford, I get.
Why not West Denver?
Nah.
That's just pause, bro. Thing.
The
Yeah.
Eagles, son. Put the Eagles sign on.
That's it. I know. I would never. Woodbury, I would never. That's why the boy Mike Oswald that was down there
Yeah,
coaching
yeah.
with Q. Disgusting. He's fucking disgusting. This motherfucker. He's the first and foremost. He's the first midget football agent I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes.
For Mac.
Yeah.
No, you seen Baby Grunk, right?
He's Mac
Maybe
agent.
Grunt from where?
From the kid from.
Overrated.
No, I'm just saying his dad is like
I
this.
just feel as though it's just good.
Yeah, but Mike's a fucking he's a fucking disgusting. He's a slime ball. Ever put on that
I know-
blue and
I know
yellow
this
and stand
answer.
on the fucking sideline. He's
He from
fucking,
Paulsboro?
He's fucking,
Yeah, he's from
yes.
Paulsboro, yeah.
Well, what do you mean why I'm saying it? We grew up together. He's like 2 years younger than me, but I grew up with his older, played football with his
So a high
older
school
cousins.
coach, Woodbury high school coach call you and actually come over there and coach for the high school, you'll say no.
Eat a dick. I love those kids.
It's sorry, we got a Harvey anyway. We
I
good.
love those kids, bro. Dink, bro. We don't
Yeah.
talk about Dink enough. Like,
So
I'm excited to see what Dink is going to go to college and do. What, is he playing DB?
I don't know what he's playing. I know he's up there now. He just posted that he was at New Haven.
Dink, he just got congratulated. Clap it up for Dink. Give me one for
Good
Game.
job,
He
buddy.
just got South Jersey Athlete of the Year.
That's big.
He got South Jersey Athlete of the Year,
Big,
man.
bro, big.
Let's clap it up for my boy. You know, he's one of those top athletes, man, that we should definitely be speaking about for a long
Facts.
time. Football, all-state football, won the state championship in basketball, state championship in track.
Man.
I mean, come on, come on, man.
killing
It don't get no better than that. He's an all-around athlete.
He
so,
destroyed 7-on-7.
I mean,
Like it was just, it wasn't fair, man.
Where
This
you
kid-
from?
Woodbury.
Originally, he's from Lawnside. His family, from mom and dad, from East Camden.
Mm-hmm.
Then he moved to Lawnside, raised their kids there. Then they moved out here.
Watching this group of kids together. You know who I'm excited to watch too this year, high school is Speedy.
Yeah, I was thinking about him.
Yo,
You seen that catch and flip, bro?
yeah, Speedy is
I think we didn't use him right enough. Like
Yeah.
down the field.
yeah, we did a lot in Atlanta, and then after that when everybody came back, he kind
Right.
of got lost in the sauce
Right.
with everything, but I'm excited to see what he's going
Facts.
what he's going to do this year. Where is he at?
Cedar Creek.
Cedar Creek.
Pirates.
Oh, they're gonna be nice.
Yeah,
Cedar Creek.
They-
Yo,
that
he's not-
quarterback.
he's
that
nasty.
quarterback
Quarterback
is
legit.
He's playing a lot better.
Say Cotty snapping.
He said Cotty snapping. What Cotty went live? When he
Shout out to Cotty.
when he mad? Wait, yeah. Why do people hate so much for?
He
somebody
just
putting a
congratulated us the other day, saying
Yeah,
he's
why do
happy
people-
for us.
Why
Changes
do
with the
people?
wind, man.
Why do people get so mad?
I don't know. I don't give a
It's not
fuck
sitting
either.
here.
I don't give a shit.
Why do people get so mad, bro?
Growth. They don't like growth and development.
Man, listen, I don't give a shit. I don't
Damn,
like,
why? It's crazy.
It's,
He can come on the show next week. Cotty
Yeah.
can be a special guest next
so
week.
I already contacted.
No slides.
I can't.
Well, the teams that we're playing right preseason wise, I know we got West Philly and
West Philly.
from what I know it's another team.
One team.
Somebody just backed out. I'm trying to get Brick City, because they've been pretty good team. I hit Arthur Kemp, one of my boys. He's waiting for the coach to get back to him. I'm definitely trying to get that in the works. I think that's good competition. Like they've been in the AYF run for a long time.
For a while.
You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that's more of a competition wise, just to see where we at.
Right.
Physicality wise, just know what we can do. I think it's all about, to watch the films, making the corrections, putting the kids where they belong. You know what I mean? That's basically what I'm using it for. I don't care about the wins.
All right.
In my opinion, I don't care about the wins. I mean, like.
So you're not a scrimmage win guy?
No.
So I was.
I'm all about my line. I'm
Yeah.
all about my scrimmages and preseason games. I'm about my line.
Right.
I don't really care about my skills.
So I had made a post earlier, and I'm just looking down, and Hawk just had commented about that. I had made a comment about where, because everybody keeps saying. Remember, everybody kept talking that national thing earlier,
Okay.
and everybody was still referring to Tri-County as rec,
Yeah.
but we're in the UIFL, right?
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah.
at what point do we stop addressing Tri-County as a rec league?
When we're under
One-
that umbrella.
Once we're under this umbrella, and I know
Right.
that we're only under that umbrella basically for an end of the year tournament,
Right,
Right.
right.
So I understand what people, but at the end of the day, we're still considered in the UIFL, right? But I made that statement about, and Cotty commented, fake news. We D2, so we do waivers and boundaries, right? And so when I did speak to one of the
Oh, I did see that earlier.
the Dark Knight coaches, they was like, they went D2.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, they don't have to deal with that, but he just made a comment and said them and 3 other programs were D1 when they went down there. They got moved to the D2 bracket, and either way, no waiver, anything needed. You get to Florida, most teams are stacked. Administrators should look in the national rules of their charter instead of changing the rules locally. Local rules don't apply in nationals anywhere. AYF, UIFL, Pop Warner, etc.
That's a big.
So-
that's big.
So that's I hate. Y'all gotta understand when people, because a lot of things that Cotty say, people really be taking that shit for as the Bible and believe that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Because it fits their agenda.
He
That's
keeps saying that D2 T2 teams do waivers. It's the waiver thing. No, like that's not true. Yes, D2 teams are in leagues where they have waivers. Some do, but when you get down to nationals and those top teams, and you go versus those stacked teams, whether it's D1 or D2, them teams are going to be stacked, and they're not going to know shit about no out of district or no fucking waiver.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So get that out of your mind that we not the only ones that's doing it, which we won't be the only ones probably, but there's going to be a vast majority of those teams that's going to be stacked to win the national championship. That's not going to handicap their fucking team and tie one arm behind their fucking back to go out there and win. They're trying to fucking win a national championship.
That's a fact.
And if us as Tri-County, we want to go be nationally known and go out there and fucking rep, let's fucking go out there and do that shit. If we join the fucking league, let's go do it.
All the way.
All the way.
Let's go do it.
Yep.
And that's why I said, like, I feel like though we're 1 foot in and 1 foot out because we are bringing our rec rules into a national league.
I agree with you, Mike, man. The back and forth is a waste of energy. That's why on this show, man, we get Tri-County out the way and we talk about it as much as possible because all the national talk, I'm not in that situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to be real. I'm a realist.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know nothing about it, so I really can't speak on
95. No, I'm not gonna say that. There's certain people that talk about national football that never even seen it.
Wow.
Never been there to actually even participate in tournaments. Nothing.
Right.
But they can tell you everything about it. They're watchers. They're fans. It's nothing wrong being a fan, but don't try to put it on us.
Got you.
Oh, y'all ain't real coaches because we ain't participating. One, I don't want to do it. I don't care enough for it.
Right.
I'm just being honest. I don't care
that's
enough
how I
for
feel.
it. I don't
That's
care
how I
enough for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I don't care enough for national football. I don't take you football that serious.
Right.
And the thing that's getting misconstrued with my team is y'all seeing people say that my team is this and my team is that, and wanna rank my team here and rank my team there, and take that as Isaac wants the one that wants to go national.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is something that the league been trying to do for 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a Defford thing.
Right.
This isn't a Woodbury thing, saying a Glassboro thing. This is something the league has been trying to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just happen to been able to put together a really good team. Rec team.
Right.
With our abiding by our fucking rec rules
Yep.
that could probably go out and compete against some of these national teams. Do I
Right.
think so? Yeah, we could compete against some of them. But we're not built like them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But if we had the rules of everyone in the whole country,
Yeah. Well, the counter to that is that everybody's saying if we had those rules, then our league wouldn't be a league because the top heavy coaches will get all the players.
yeah,
So
parents and kids love going to winning organizations.
yes, period. I agree with
And if
that.
you're not a winning organization or a good coach, them parents are not going to you.
Yep.
And we got to watch out for the ones that get out here and tell you you're do and they're do.
I haven't recruited any kids, and this year I went out and tried to recruit for the first time, and I was like, damn, this shit I ain't built.
It's draining.
I ain't built for this shit. Like, I mean, to be on the phone with a parent or a guardian or somebody that has some type of input or where a kid can go,
Right.
and feel like you like a college fucking coach trying to talk to them in the. I hang up the phone mad sometimes because I know what I bring to the fucking table.
Right.
Like I should not have to. If you want your child to play for the best in Tri-County and play for the best coaching staff, and I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody else, but I know what I bring to the table
Right.
personally.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna say the best coaching staff because I'm not want to take nothing away from somebody else. But if you want your kid to have an opportunity to practice versus the top talent around every single day,
Right.
develop, be around coaches that know what it takes to get to prepare to be the high school to try to get to those next steps, to prepare them mentally. I shouldn't have to talk you into that because my resume speaks for itself.
Right.
So to have to talk to a parent and feel like I have to talk somebody into that shit, I don't mind speaking with you and be like, yo, you know what I mean? You'll come here, you know, this, and the third. But when you start to question me,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, bro.
Feel like you ain't getting
I
interrogated.
do this shit. I promise you.
Right.
I promise you, I do this shit. I promise you, you can drop your kid off and sit in the car, and you ain't got to worry about the fuck going on at practice.
Yep.
I promise you, when your kid leave here from out this year, he gonna be a better football player. I promise you, we gonna go out on that motherfucker. A lot of teams can promise you a lot of shit, but they not capable of doing it.
That's my motto. Look at your child from week 1, and that's of practice, our start date, to the last game of the season, and you see the difference, especially on the senior level.
Yeah.
Because that shit was hard with the 12-year-olds and the 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, that shit was hard. So the 14-year-old, real quick before we get out of here, the 14U, the team I have and the Monroe team, I'm pretty sure that a lot of these good high school programs, they're gonna come see these kids.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So what good is it for the national level? Just to get the competition?
It's more of if you want.
On my level.
You talking to somebody that he better answer that because I don't care too much for
Yeah,
it.
no, because what I'm
you
saying,
mean?
You mean,
so
you mean
what I'm saying
you
is,
mean
for
playing
national-
national football
so
in
what
high
I'm saying
school?
is, I remember yesterday. Was it yesterday or today? Cotty mentioned that the national ball, you got St. Joe's coming to see these kids, and
Yeah.
automatically I thought about the kid Isaiah West. He didn't play national ball. He played for Monroe. He played 1 year in Slime U. We taught him how to play outside linebacker, and then he went to St. Joe's Prep. And
Yeah.
right now he's in Wisconsin, Penn State. Like, you get what I'm saying? So on our level, like, what good is it to be on the national stage?
Nothing.
If the high school's already coming, the Hamiltons
Already.
in the area, St. Augustine Prep and all that.
It's about preparation.
I think I'm not gonna say there's nothing. I don't think that you gain nothing from. I think you
Right,
get the
you gain-
exposure.
right.
You get the exposure. I think college coaches are going in and peeking in and
Right,
looking at
right, right.
these top national teams. Said I've seen Fran Brown working out kids playing for the Rare Breeds.
Okay.
I've watched a video of that on YouTube, and so that's big. If you got a kid from the Rare Breeds working out with the corner from the Rare Breeds, working out with the
Fran,
goddamn
right,
Georgia's
right,
DB coach,
Right.
you know what I mean? And that's all of the exposure that those kids are getting playing nationally. So things like that, and IMG might come check your kid out just from off of the exposure. They can get hundreds and thousands of views on these YouTubes from these games,
right.
and people start to become fans of these kids and fans of these teams. So the exposure is second to none. So I won't say that they don't get anything from it nationally, but I just don't think that's the only way to be
The
successful.
only route to go.
I
Correct.
think
correct.
Fran was just in Millville 2 weeks ago.
What'd you say?
Fran was just in Millville 2 weeks. I think we get nothing from
I'm sure.
it only based
I'm
on
sure
the
it
fact
was.
that,
I'm just saying that.
telling you, man,
I'm
we
saying
just-
the
we're
exposure.
that talented.
I'm saying.
I agree.
I'm just saying the exposure and the level of competition of the national football is definitely going to be second to none. Do I agree with a fucking 11-year-old kid playing 30 games in one season? Fuck no, I don't. I would never. Nobody can ever make me agree. I don't give a fuck if he only playing offense or he only playing defense. I can't coach no fucking 30 games. Bro,
I only want to see
Did
30
you get-
games.
How many coaches, bro? I know all these coaches on here, bro. You get done that championship game or that playoff game, you did them 10, 11 games, boy, you be like,
And here come Thanksgiving.
yo,
Exactly,
for real,
right
bro.
there.
And sometimes you be mad the season over, but you at the same time when 6 o'clock hit, you be like, man, I ain't gotta go to practice.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? You finally get the chill. You be like, man, that motherfucking season took it out of me.
So over here in my household, we're a football family. My sons, my stepson, he just graduated. He on his way he in college now. So we've been a football family. My wife helps out in the organization. So when the season's over, that's like so big for us because then here come family time.
Yeah.
And we real big on family. So during the football season, if our games are on Saturdays, Sundays is our family day. We invite whoever, friends, families, whatever. And then if it's opposite, then Saturday.
Saturday.
So we're real big on that. So when
When the
football's
fuck?
over,
When the fuck I'm gonna get invited?
yo,
He said, bro,
yeah,
man,
me
don't,
too,
don't
man.
even
I'm
say
about
that
to say,
because
what
I
the
invited you, motherfucking last time.
every
Nah.
time you invite me,
Nah,
I be
you
having.
got something
I got
to do.
something going on.
I told you I got you,
That
bro.
was some motherfucking beans and rice, nigga.
Oh yeah,
I got
I
y'all.
grew up on that.
Listen, I got y'all, man. You
Man,
know,
Mike, they ain't make no fucking beans
Violent?
and rice.
Are you
and fucking
crazy?
Violent, bro?
Violent?
Shit.
Why you crazy?
they had.
Violent had
we used
all
to
the
drive
Spanish
down there.
spot on every
We used to
Violent
drive
got
down there
all
for the
the
buffet.
fucking mommies up. Right, every time we was younger, we played Violent. It was all the cheerleaders was Puerto Rican. We couldn't wait to play
God.
Violent.
Look happy as hell. Third Street Axtell.
Yeah, dog. We used to drive down there just for the Puerto Rican buffet.
Yeah, man.
So
Come
I
to
know.
Violent, man. Come eat.
Shit. So, man, listen, man, it was a great show.
All right, man, give it up for the second. Give it up for the second
Part
episode, man. We
Number two.
appreciate y'all, man. We appreciate everybody tuning in.
Before we get out of here, a special shout out to my sponsors, aka Booms Concrete. Great work. You can find them on Instagram and Bono's Designer LLC, kitchen remodeling and epoxy services. I'll have more information on him. It'll go on the Facebook page. Hit my guys out, man. They dope. They real dope, baby. Out.
We out of here, man.
Peace.
Wow. Man, you coming up. You got sponsors already? This boy got it. Nah, this dope, though. I like this.
Oh yeah.
This is nice. I got it.